Hear the words of a bitch warmer that had every skill set of being a starter. Guess they ain't see it like that. Call the racks, bet when they hear this, they gon' get they sight back. Please, let me have my moment of confidence, cause it took a while to be like common sense. I know that I'm handpicked, I ain't condescent, cause I survive things that don't make no kind of sense. Future bright, haters gotta squint. Snakes looking to get inside the ride, but I got the tent. This is the anthem for those that been looked over and got a chip on their shoulder the size of a boulder. Focus undeniable, attitude never die. If you wasn't for me before, ain't no use when you switching sides. This is for everybody, waiting on my demise. So you witness my fall, now you witness my ride, yeah. Hey, frustration creeps, cause they don't see what I see. So isolation for me is a requirement for what I gotta be. So, I'm flying under the radar. Your boy under the radar, and they'll never see me coming. Your boy under the radar. Your boy under the radar, and they'll never see me coming. Folks will never give you your just due. So just blaze, do your thing and stay true. The best kept secrets in the house. Public service announcement, the secret is out. But let's not make this all about me, cause there are many others like me. Whenever you share your vision, it just bring division. And yeah, they hear you talking, but no, they wasn't listening. And then you scratching your head, how come they don't get it? I'm not like everybody else, boy, I'm different. You can't think giant, hanging around with midgets, area code switcher. You gotta change the digits, this ain't for everybody. It's strictly for the misfits, keep your measuring tape, cause we don't need to be fitted. We don't fit, and no need for you to judge. We just throw in a change up, I hope you brought the glove. Catch that, yeah. Hey, frustration creeps, cause they don't see what I see. So isolation for me is a requirement for what I gotta be. So, I'm flying under the radar. Your boy under the radar, and they'll never see me coming. Your boy under the radar. Your boy under the radar, and they'll never see me. Stay the course, you're on your way to something great. Gotta learn to embrace all the hate. They won't know what you are until it's too late, cause all they see is 2-4 but never saw the 8. Yeah, see that was a mamba metaphor, cause I'm not an 8 but I'm on my way to the 2-4. I'm in the middle giving minor, preparing for the summer year. Stay humble and grind, that's all you gotta do. And never ever take credit for where credit is due. Friends leave, that's a loss, that don't mean I lose. Less is more, check the scoreboard, I'm the Victor Cruz. Yeah, it get rough, it ain't never smooth, but I'm prepared for the journey, got my traveling shoes. Music's in need of a fix, and we got the tools, so we just serving them hits like a hammer do. Yeah, hey, frustration creeps, cause they don't see what I see. Isolation for me is a requirement for what I gotta be. So, I'm flying under the radar. Your boy under the radar, and they'll never see me coming. Your boy under the radar. Your boy under the radar, and they'll never see me coming.
What's good, everybody? We here bringing lyrics to life. We in here with the great Lawrence T. We gonna jump into this thing. Y'all please excuse the those who are watching the live. Excuse the title. It wasn't edited from last night's events. But we here tonight with the great Lawrence T. And his new single that was just released yesterday.
Yeah.
Titled Radar.
Yeah.
But we going, before we jump into it, Nia, what's going on with you?
Chilling.
Riecee, you all right?
I'm all right.
All right. Go ahead, take us somewhere.
First verse. Hear the words of a bench warmer that had every skill set of being a starter. Guess they ain't see it like that, cataracts. Bet when they hear this, they gon' get their sight back. Please let me have my moment of confidence, 'cause it took a lot to be like common sense. I know that I'm handpicked, I ain't kinda sent, 'cause I survived things that don't make no kinda sense. Future bright, haters gotta squint. Snakes looking to get inside the ride, but I got the tent.
Read.
This is the anthem for those that have been looked over and got a chip on their shoulder the size of a boulder.
Read.
Focus is undeniable, attitude never die. If you wasn't for me before, ain't no use in you switching sides.
Read.
This is for everybody waiting on my demise. You might have witnessed my fall, now you witness my rise.
Yeah.
That those are the great words from the lyricist, Mr. Lawrence T. But before we even, before we even hit all of that, first of all, let's just recap just a little bit. So for those who are tuning in right now, if you missed last night, you need to go back. You need to go to Lawrence T page, Riecee Siren's page, the Lyrics to Life page, the YouTube page. You need to go back and you need to watch the replay of the Wonder Twins Volume 1 live virtual concert.
Go watch that.
That I would like to say is definitely, although we're only in March, but we march right in here the right way. That is the concert of the freaking year. Okay? You need to catch it. You need to catch it. Let me ask you, Mr. Lawrence T, how do you feel, man? Like, you've been doing this thing for some time, for years.
For a little while.
But you are now, like, officially in the artist zone now. You dropping singles. You doing live performances. What is this life that you in now? What is this about?
I'm just glad that if you recap to a Lyrics to Life episode in the summer of last year, he said, where is that single radar?
Yeah.
I said, I'm trying to get it together. And now that I have it together, it took a little longer than was expected.
Okay.
But I'm glad that I got it done. To answer the question, it feels mighty good.
Yeah.
It's like now I know I can do it. And the process of getting it actually out that night, it was truly a night to remember.
Gotcha.
The car went down. I was supposed to be home with ample time to get it out in time for midnight. I didn't get home till midnight.
Wow.
So I technically didn't get it released probably to sometime in the afternoon, because even the attempts at night, they want that picture a certain kind of format.
Right.
And so that took a good hour and some change. And then the audio files, I kept choosing the wrong one, so they kept rejecting it. So I had to keep, but it was just like, this year is just, there's a nevertheless, like I said last night, that's like, all right, no matter what it takes, it's getting done. And so to actually have it done, and to have people giving the feedback, and to be like, all right, I got one down and I'm already ready to get the next one done. So I'm just loving where I'm at with it.
That's what's up. So you motivated. Go ahead. You got something? What you got?
Yeah, so I want to say, first of all, that I think it was worth the wait. But let me ask an extremely personal question to both of you.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your writing process? Like, just listening to the lyrics, like, did that just flow, or was there, like, a thought process, or like how long did it take for that to come about?
Honestly, some history before we answer that question. That I made that beat in 2016. I didn't write to it till 2017.
Well, my God.
So literally, where I was at that time, it's some again, like, because I think I was here before when Christian asked me about, the manservant. He asked me about the process of making a beat, or like, where do I go? Sometimes that beat will dictate my lyrics. As crazy as that sounds, sometimes they kind of they live together. Mm-hmm. It's a 1-2 package. But with that one, it was just an idea of just like, honestly, I can't even remember. I think I made the hook first, and then I was like, oh, okay. Now, because again, that single and that song is me personified. It is literally like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I've been feeling. But at the same time, I want to still encourage everybody that's in the same position or have been at this crossroads where I'm at now. So literally, I can't remember what I did first, but I think the hook came first, and then the lyrics was just like, okay. Usually, honestly, with writing, my first liners are because to enter a song to me is major. That first line or that first track, even with an album, the first track should be the tone setter of what that album is going to be. Same thing with a song. The first words they hear, they need to hit hard. They need to grab attention. So a lot of times I feel like my introduction verse is weak. So I'll sit there like, this ain't it, bro. And a lot of times it'll start off like a freestyle, and then it'll be, oh, okay. Matter of fact, I started writing it at work. I would write songs because I didn't want to be there. So literally, I was writing stuff down on my phone, and I would keep it in my head, and I would just keep rehearsing it over and over, or I would go to the bathroom and record it, and then get back to work. So I think I answered that question. I rambled a while.
What about you, Riecee?
Usually events happen, and then that's why I wind up writing what I write. Usually my songs are a reaction.
Yeah.
Cause it's better for me to react on wax than it is in real life.
Right,
Gotcha.
right.
So if I'm mad or I'm hurt or whatever, it's safer for me to get it out that way. Like I tell people, like, I've said it before, like my music is the diary of a chosen person. People talk so much, I don't think people take what people say seriously. So they hear you say stuff, but nobody's ever listening. And it's because I've told people, I'm like, music keeps me out of jail. It keeps me from murdering people. Like I've performed before, and they've watched a nervous breakdown happen because in my element is safe there. Right. So people be like, "Yo, you smashed," and they don't even know like I was melting down in the middle of it, but that was where it was safe for me to do it. So my writing is absolutely reactionary. It affected one of my relationships because he was a frequent feature and was highly upset. And then when I got to a song that wasn't about him, he was upset that it wasn't about him. I said, bro, you sound like a nut, my nigga. Like, either you want to be in these joints or you don't.
Right.
I thought you'd be glad that you was no longer the source of
my writing.
Correct.
Absolutely. And I have to agree because if for nothing, I can't tell you how many times throughout the day things will be going on. It just be like, all right, I know what to do. And so there have been times where I've heard certain melodies, again, at work. So I'll just go dip off to the bathroom, record whatever melody I'm hitting, get home, and pray what I heard comes back in the same mode I heard it, where I was in. Because that's happened a couple of times where I record
Voice notes. Man.
Them things I still have voice notes still in this phone. Thank God for iCloud through the phones I've gone through.
Listen.
There's some old voice notes in there where I dipped off and was like I'll record something and be like, all right, now, Lord, when I get home, I want to be in that same mode. Because sometimes the same mode I was in where it's gone by the time I get home. And I'm like, oh, man. Yep. So we're trying to recreate it. But with that one, it was,
It's crazy, man. I just literally went to AT&T 2 days ago and had to upgrade my phone. I didn't pay attention. I was trying to figure out why my phone was like going crazy. It was slowing down. It was just like looping and all this stuff. And then they was like, you have a lot of voice notes. And it's taking up all space. Of your data. And I was like, but thank God for the iPhone 12 and 128 gigs because, baby, I had to double.
I know it.
What I usually get, because I'm like, and I buy extra storage on iCloud, all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Just so I don't run out of space. I send everything to Dropbox. I do all the stuff to just make sure.
Surely.
But I still had too much voice notes on that thing. I was like, jeez.
That voice note thing is real.
I called myself today even still trying to move stuff over to the Mac.
Yeah.
And now, and I need another Mac anyway because, that thing is at almost max capacity. Hey. I'm like, man.
As long as you got them hard drives to back them on up.
Thank the Lord for that terabyte.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
Oh, man. That thing looked like a whole nother computer, but it's all right with me.
That's the one.
It has saved me many a day.
I know it.
Riecee, So just staying in the mode of last night, right? So, you worldwide, internationally known. You doing your thing.
Facts.
You know, you doing the artistry thing. You doing the performance thing.
Facts.
How did it feel to hit the stage with the Wonder Twin? What was that like?
It was nice. I have been trying to get Tony to get on these concerts since I started doing them back in September.
This is true.
So it was nice to finally get him to cooperate.
Amen.
It was highly appreciated.
Amen.
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 That's what's up. So you kind of dropped a little spoiler. It was like, now you ready for the next one.
I am.
So do we have a potential lookout date for a next one? Are we just dropping another single? Are we working towards an EP? What we doing?
What we're doing is I would like to put one out right when the weather's getting ready to break. So that gives me to about, at least for sure, May. My target date is May. I want to do another single with Riecee because that's been, and probably like in the summertime.
When you say with Riecee, are we talking about a Wonder Twin track?
Yeah, like a collab,
Like a double hitter?
definitely
Oh,
collab.
I don't know if the industry is ready. Listen, they going back into the office now.
They not.
I'm just saying,
But,
they back in the office now. Y'all gonna kick them back out before they even get in there.
Because literally the word for the year was really momentum, and I have seen January precede what December did. Then I've seen February proceed with and already in the 6th day of March, I've seen March supersede what February. And so I'm like, all right, now we turn it up.
Time to ante up.
It's time to ante up. And so I definitely, there will definitely be an EP done this year, and definitely, no, for real, the EP will be done this year, and probably towards the end of this year should be wrapping up for an album. So either the album should be done the end of this year and definitely early next year, because I want to take my time, because I believe albums should be an extension of who you are and the dedication you put into it. That's why I think there was a conversation with another friend of mine I had, and I think he posted he had a question, like, it was an artist, like, what are his best intro tracks? And that's a heavy topic of mine. I can know what your album is what the temperature is of your album based off of your first song, or for sure your first 3 or 4. Absolutely. And so that I remember a certain someone's, I don't want to call names, the first song was a slow song, and I was like, we're in trouble. We were in Walmart. I'm trying not to call his name, but if you remember 2011. And we looked at each other like, remember that? We looked at each other like, now again, because of life and its circumstances, I could appreciate the lyrics, but it was like, bro, this is not how you start. Like I remember, not to ramble, but I remember like a year ago or like 2 years ago, I was on Snapchat, and I did 2 types of album starters that were totally different, but set the tone for what you wanted. I said, like, for example, if you go to Drake's album, Nothing Was the Same, and you listen to the first song on there, that Tuscan Leather, it was literally 3 tracks in one. But he literally came out, he didn't come out singing, he wasn't trying to serenade you. Drake came out rapping, and it just set the tone. Then as I went to Jay-Z's Kingdom Come starter with the Prelude, where it wasn't fast, but Jay, no hook, no nothing. Jay just wanted you to know, I'm back in this game, and though y'all thought I probably lost it, I didn't lose it. Right. So the first track set the tone, like, all right, this thing about to be crazy. He just coming out, letting us know we not playing. So I can tell by your album what the tone is going to be. So I want to make sure when I do that it's not rushed, it's not sharp and precise, because I want it to be me. I just believe in putting your best foot forward, right. Especially like Dietrich Haddon. Dietrich's first 4 songs, he always punches you right in the gut. He just gives them to you, boom, boom, boom. All right, like what's the best 4 we got on here? All right, put these 4 all back to back to back because he wants to set the tone. Usually his first 4 joints are all fast, and then he'll hit you with like a slow one or a groove joint. But how you start an album, that's everything. But yeah, the EP's getting done. I definitely want a single around May. Definitely want another one in the summer, and then the EP landing date sometime after that, and then surely the album shouldn't be too far after that.
Well, all right. So listen, can we have you just toot your own horn real quick?
Sure.
So Radar, you wrote the lyrics.
I did.
You produced the beat.
I did.
So this is all you.
It's all me. Hey.
Now, if that ain't a way to come out and let the people know who Lawrence T is,
Legit.
and I'm not just gonna let you know who I am, but I'm gonna lead as Mark
Legit.
and let you know all of me.
Legit.
So we got the writer,
We do.
we got the producer,
He's there.
we got the engineer,
He in there too.
and now we got the performer.
Come on here.
Oh my God!
Huh?
If we ain't in trouble, I don't know.
It's gonna be trouble.
I don't know.
Trouble.
I don't know. But come on, let's jump into these lyrics because you already started off with.
Yeah.
Listen, I was in my head since last night.
Mm.
No, actually before, because I've read the lyrics.
Mm.
I had got my track. I bought mine. If y'all didn't buy it, it's out. Go ahead, get it.
Go get
it's
it.
on all media outlets. Grab that thing up.
Go get it.
But listen, I was in my head. I done started to I done built a whole nother podcast off of these lyrics. I ain't lying. I done came up with all kinds of questions. I mean, for myself, for relationships, for all. Listen,
the funny thing is, I actually came out with I'm actually working on a clothing line, with the help of another individual, Chelsea Pearson. She helped me come up with the name for it, so you can look out for Radar Dispatch Apparel. So dispatch, if you look at the word
here cussing,
if you look at if you look at the word dispatch, that dispatch basically is like a launching pad. So even though you're under the radar, like that radar, though you're not seeing, the dispatch is like, but we still launching. And then I was like, because I was thinking like, man, every
time I hear Radar, I go back to that old song. Y'all don't know. I just gave y'all the hint.
You lost me.
We ain't with you, bro.
You lost me.
I'm disappointed in you.
I apologize. But I want to say this first verse, the reason why I asked you guys about your writing is because you both do this thing called a callback very well. And the metaphors are always just so like gut punching. And it's like when you keep referencing the same metaphor, but in a different way. So like he's talking about sight and not seeing me coming, but you going to see me now. And like it's just over and over. He's saying the same thing in a different way.
That's
and
crazy.
I just love it.
I didn't even think about it.
I just love it. And it's just, I don't know, not many lyricists like use that skill of writing in metaphors. And I always feel like it's such a creative way to connect, because if you miss the first one,
right,
you can catch the second one. You can still get my point.
Right.
Like one of these is going to hit you, and
right.
I love that.
Right.
And even towards the end of the first verse, where it's like it's so demanding. Like, okay, this is the anthem, right? If you feel left out, if you
right.
feel like people have overlooked you, this
right.
is for you.
Right.
But I also want my haters to know
right.
it's for you too.
Right.
Like I love that. I love it.
Right.
So I just want to point that out.
That one, I really couldn't have chosen a better first verse, just because, like you said, that one set the tone. Like, all right, so I made my peace with where I am, but in this verse, I want you to know how I've used it to my advantage, and I want everybody else that's in that same light. But at the same time, you by the time you realize where I'm at, it's gonna be. I'm gonna keep drilling it. By the time you figure out my true value, I will be out of reach. Mm-hmm. And that was like the bottom line of, because literally I have felt like that between them years of like 2012 to like 2016. It was just like, oh, so none of y'all see it.
Right.
Like none of you. And in those 4 years, I lived a whole life. Literally, like a whole transformation took place in them 4 years, and I was literally surrounded by people that just chose not to see it, and it was just like, oh, okay. And so it kind of has that back against the wall feel, like, all right, if I ain't got nobody but myself, good enough. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Dope.
You gotta reread the first part of those lyrics. I'm sorry for the people.
Hear the words of a bench warmer
Read.
that had every skill set of being a starter.
Read.
Guess they ain't see it like that cataracts, but when they hear this, they gonna get their sight back.
Read.
Please let me have my moment of confidence, cause it took a while to be like common sense.
Huh?
I know that I'm handpicked, I ain't kinda sent, cause I survived things that don't make no kind of sense.
Huh?
Future bright, haters gotta squint. Snakes looking to get inside the ride, but I got the tent.
I got 10.
This is the anthem for those that have been looked over and got a chip on their shoulder the size of a boulder.
Read.
Focus undeniable, attitude never die. If you wasn't for me before, ain't no use in you switching sides.
Stay there.
This is for everybody waiting on my demise. You might have witnessed my fall. Now you gonna witness my rise.
You gonna witness it.
You said stay there. As I stopped, I thought you wanted to comment.
Oh,
on
nah.
part.
That was my, basically, whatever side you on, stay there.
Don't even start that conversation. What?
There is a lot in there. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, don't even go there.
There is a lot
But
in
he
there.
said snakes trying to get in the ride, but I got 10.
I got-
Again, like you can't even see it in here.
You
my
can't.
God,
You.
like-
I have now removed access, and that also. Let's be clear, because it just hit me in this moment. That even speaks to the access I allow to give you to myself on these social platforms. Now, outside of this single, this is the most I have ever posted back to back days. Because for the most part, it's just like I'm good. I don't have to try to play this game.
Right.
You know what I mean? We all know what game that is, that front game. You know, making things believed to be something that it's not. And it's just like, wow. You know what? I'm just going to eliminate all access from you, because you only going to be able to work with what I give you. So now I'm not giving you hardly nothing. I love to keep people guessing. Truly and honestly, I do. My last 3 relationships made no Facebook posts, made no Instagram, nothing. So I didn't have to worry about going back to delete stuff. Because
that's right.
See, and that we're not gonna get into that, because
No.
you have some women that's like,
Can we-
if he doesn't post, does he love me, sis?
Listen.
If you're smart, that the key is, long as you feel it every day, and he show you every day, and there's no guessing, he not hiding his phone, he not doing none of that.
But can we go? Because there was a time, I was just having this conversation just this morning. There was a time where if I brought you around my people
Right.
and introduced you to some people,
Oh, that was it.
and you met some people,
That was it.
because we didn't have social media.
Right.
Right.
So if you met my not even family, if you met my closest friends,
Listen.
you was established and you had a place.
Correct.
Now you need to be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat,
They got all of that.
I mean,
Why?
and for what?
Why? I have literally been that person.
But then you're mad when everybody in your business, but you invited them.
But you invited them. That's
Oh.
the part that behooves
Oh,
me.
my.
It cracks me up. I'm like, you're mad at what they're doing to the information you're providing. One more time. You're mad at what they're doing with the information you are providing. You are
And you have no control over how they perceive it, what they do with it. Once you give it to them, it's theirs. Right. So you on your own, sled guy.
So you mad they done took what you gave them, and then you're mad at how their perception is changing. So if you want that change, stop giving them material. It is just really that simple. And I'm a total agreement. See, there was levels with me. Not every person I dated met my parents. You might have got the Riecee.
Listen,
You might have got the
levels.
Riecee. And that was like there was one level where it was like, okay, my sister. Then it was my cousins that I'm the most around. Right. Then there's another level. Then there's my parents. The ultimate level was my grandparents. My grandmother was still here. My grandfather passed in 2012. When you got to meet them, it was that, okay, this boy's serious. Like, I'm trying to take it all the way. Right. So all of this proving it on social media, I'm telling you, the last 3, they just no. But they knew. The last 3. Monogamy, I mean, it is what it is. Monogamy is not a problem for me. So I don't have no problem with you taking my phone. Matter of fact, you want my password? No problem. Now, when he start hiding that kind of stuff, now you got eyebrows to raise. Now you need to start reevaluating, and now you got to turn it to a secret agent. Cause now because let's be clear, a woman with a plan is dangerous. So if she gets a plan, you really already screwed. You just don't know it.
Here's my thing. You want to go live? Let's go live.
Let's.
But are you ready for the live?
No.
You understand? Because there's things that come with that.
Absolutely.
There's spirits. There's agendas.
Absolutely.
Are you ready for that?
No.
Can you handle it?
If I go
listen,
there,
can you handle that?
No, most of them cannot.
Oh,
but that there's no point in trying to prove. I've been that married person mad at each other, but still trying to post to convince folk. No.
And for what?
For what?
Because they not the marriage. We are.
For what?
So we trying to convince them or convince us?
Literally, it's the second one you just said.
For me, social media isn't a red flag, it's a yellow flag. Like, it's cautionary, because now I'm like looking at you funny, because my thing with relationships is we don't have to have the same common interests. Like, what's important to you doesn't have to be important to me, but I have to be willing to consider how important it is to you and respect it.
Correct.
And I can't respect the social media importance.
Correct.
So that's going to be an issue. Like,
agreed.
if it's that important to you, I can see that eventually becoming an issue, because it's never going to be that important to me. So that's why it's a cautionary flag for me.
And I'm not going to lie. That is one of, not to get on my good fellow brethren, that's where we fail. Sometimes we don't take things as seriously as y'all do, or we don't see it from that perspective.
Right.
And if a lot of times I have learned most women don't want things fixed. They want you to understand and hear them. Right. If you can come and literally, relationships and marriages would be better if the other people would take into consideration how things or how whatever it is bothering them. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't know how to fix it, at least level on them on where they're feeling about the situation.
Yes.
But we're not here to talk about that.
And here's the thing, because I was, I'm a person who likes to play on words sometimes, because understand, being under the radar, that is not just that. It's not a matter of hidden or secrecy, but it's a position of defense.
Correct. And it is also a
place of protection.
And it is a place of what's the word I want? It is a place of preparation.
Listen, because
almost jumped out my seat. Almost jumped out my seat.
Listen,
almost jumped out my seat.
Because being in the military, I started to think about what that means for us, and how we're taking that time of being incognito to prepare.
Right.
So you don't see us coming. So we hit you with the element of surprise.
Correct. That's it.
Because don't worry about being posted on social media, but wait till they see us walk out the door together.
Huh?
Oh, snap. Oh, all right.
Huh?
Well, all right. All right. Listen, shout outs to our viewers. We see y'all comments. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all doing a lot already. I got all these different pages going, so some of the stuff is on the screen, some of it is not. So I'm gonna switch to this other screen. Shout outs to the great Dr. Karen Nichols Witherspoon.
Hey,
Dukes. Jamie Lynn, what's up, sis? Q, I see you. We got Jasmine on here. Is that Brandon, the drummer? I see. Whoa, what's up, bro?
My guy.
We got Chelsea on here. I mean, y'all excited tonight. We and y'all should be. We got Lawrence T in the house. Autographs available. We gonna do this thing up big. But it is just, I mean, when I tell you, I literally from last night, and I have not been to sleep yet, and I've literally like Radar, the song, the lyrics, the title, the concept, the idea. It has had me in my head all night, all day. Like literally, I mean, I have questions now.
Yeah.
I got some things I'm going back to revisit, reevaluate. I'm just like, this thing done. Listen, this thing done. It done mixed up some things, shipwrecked some other things, exposed some other stuff. I was just like, man. And then when you said that part right there, when you said just stay right there and stay on the where you on that side of me. Listen, shout out to my boy Tank. He just dropped his single too, but stay where you are.
He sure did.
Yeah, but stay where you are.
Right? No, stay there.
Stay. Listen, and because somebody asked me a question today about a situation, and they asked me, they said, do you feel some type of way? You know, do you wish things went this way, went that way? I said, no, absolutely not. I appreciate, no, for real. I appreciate, because you know what's different about me? I respect people gangster. I do. So I appreciate you when you reveal and show me who you really are.
Agreed.
I respect that.
Agreed.
So I'm not going to try to go back, change nothing, negotiate nothing. No, thank you. I see all of you.
Right.
I see the other person. Let me shake hands with them now. Now I know where you stand. I know where we stand. God bless you. I'm good. Miss me with it. I'm good.
I just been sitting here having the hardest time coming up with the words to express how crazy it is. And I think that because y'all make it look so effortless, it's really hard for people to grasp, because I can't really articulate what I'm feeling. But the fact that you can produce these incredible tracks,
thank God,
and then write.
No.
Hold
Right,
on. Let me
the
say.
way that
because
y'all
the whole
write
concert, because
is
that whole
crazy.
concert last night, produced. There was one. The If He Said It joint. Shout outs to Luke Witherspoon. That was Luke. That was the only one that I didn't produce.
Okay,
but
Luke.
pretty much the whole shebang last night. When y'all go back and watch it, all them songs.
You produced that.
I did do that. Yes,
Isn't
I
that
did.
not
Come on,
crazy?
Lawrence T. No,
Like,
here's
I
the
can't even-
crazy part. I always tip my hat to people who can do this. This man played the bass, sang and rapped while playing the bass.
That
Let me
was,
tell you something.
and I was
If
gonna
that
do
was
it.
Christian, I would have plucked one chord. I would have had to put this. Listen, this is how we're gonna do this. If I was on the drum, I probably would have dropped a stick. I can't. No, I'm so serious. Listen. Even with playing keys, and like even when I'm doing like vocal cord, I have to play the key first and then tell you that I cannot play and sing at the same time. It's just not. I can't do it.
And that's your area is the music, and for
Yeah.
me, lyrics is my area.
Can't
and
do
it's
it.
like
Right.
for you to have not a miss, like every line hits, is
Every
already too
line
much. It's
hit
already
different.
too much, and then to be able to deliver them. That's not normal.
Thank
Like
God.
people aren't able to do these things, and y'all are doing it too effortlessly. So I'm trying to figure out how to get people to understand how crazy this is. I don't know what to do.
I don't know either.
I think though too, people like us appreciate it even the more because we appreciate the art of music.
Child, because I know the struggle.
Yeah,
And the fact that
the
y'all
struggle
just out
and the
here
structure.
chilling with it is like annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, what is going on?
I think what I learned last night, I think it became evident that performance and stage presence is not predicated upon the activity on the stage. I think
Yo,
that's what
that
I
was
learned.
Why you
You
on
gotta
here trying
write.
to tell
You gotta
people
write.
off on
Yo,
the
you
low?
gotta write. You gotta write that one down because that was really good. Seriously.
Because even I used to feel like I had to do everything, be everywhere in order for people to feel like I had stage presence.
Right.
I think last night kind of proved that that's something either you have or you don't have.
Facts.
It really doesn't have anything to do with you moving across the stage or
Facts.
standing still. It's either you got the juice for that or you don't.
Correct.
And last night I was kind of like, because I was watching, I was like, he's killing and he hasn't moved. And I think it's a whole nother lane you're creating for yourself. Like there could be a tour with you and Anderson .Paak because nobody's
Facts.
really doing that. He
Facts.
plays the drums and does his thing, and you sit on the bass, and you don't really see that. And even when you see artists play, it's usually the guitar if it's
Yeah.
anything. Like you don't see them play the bass and then sing and rap or do whatever it was.
That was the challenge. I said, all right, if I could sing it and playing. First of all, I've always wanted to do it from watching so much commission growing up. Freddie was the reason why the bass was gravitated to me. So seeing him do it all the time, I was like, okay, that's it. Like people always ask me, or if people ask me, not to get off subject, what moment that I knew I wanted to do music. The first commission reunion tour in 2002, we were sitting next to each other. They were in Philly, and they played this intro music, and I watched Fred. It's funny because he had braids at the time. He was getting ready to start his dreadlocks. I caught a eye view. I watched him walk up the steps, bass in hand, while the intro was playing. And by the time the intro was done, he was in the middle, and I think he strummed for about a good 5 minutes straight. I get goosebumps every time I tell the story because I literally looked at Riecee like, yo, this is it. There's nothing else I want to do. Right. That's it right there. And so the challenge was, I said, okay, the only rapper I know that has rapped and played, and it was a guitar, I saw Lil Wayne do it. So I was like, ain't too many rappers playing.
Played it or destroyed it
No,
on stage?
no. He did. No, he played it. He's done it at his. He's done it at a couple of concerts where he's actually rapped and played guitar. And so I was like, but nobody's doing nothing with the bass. I said, so okay. So once I kept thinking about it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure it out. And so literally, I was at home practicing before the practice, like, all right, I'm gonna do this. And so two trial runs, I was like, all right, I think I'm good. And so it was just like, now I go front. A couple of times with the rehearsals, I would forget the words at one point on one of them 3 songs, but I did relatively well last night. But
Words were a struggle last night.
yeah, like I was like, oh shoot, I think I mucked that one up, but I was good. But yeah, once I saw that challenge,
You
I
ain't
was
supposed
like,
to tell people that.
I did. I was like, oh man, but like I was like, I'm good. But once I saw that challenge, and I was like, nobody's kind of in this lane, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna go in there. And so I just was able to do it.
So here we go. We got. Where did you stop at? She stopped at
Hook.
Yes. The hook is frustration creeps
Read,
because they don't see what I see.
read.
So isolation for me.
Wait,
is-
I'm sorry. Before you even go there, can we just rewind real quick?
I knew you was gonna go back to that first verse.
Listen, because I there's just so much
The line, if you
that can be broken down in this thing, and here's the thing: we can actually start from the bottom and then go back to the top. We
Yeah.
can start from the top and go to the bottom, or we can go right in the middle.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, because that this is for everybody who's waiting on my demise. You might have witnessed my fall. Now you witness my rise. Listen here.
Now I can't lie. That part came from right after my divorce, and I was done. No, legit.
That's not what I thought you was gonna say.
No, that line specifically came because I found out in that divorce who was with me because of me.
Wow.
Not who was with me by
Wow.
association
Wow.
based off of who she was,
Huh?
but who really
Ooh,
loved
wow.
me because of who I was. So I was like, okay, that was
Ooh, wow.
embarrassing. I was embarrassed as it is. I got married to get married one time.
Right.
Another subject for another
I'm the
day.
only one here that ain't been married.
Jesus the Christ.
Count your blessings.
Child, but-
Amen.
and you better name them things one by one. At least yours will be right the first time.
Amen.
Because I was just getting ready to say you the
Cause-
only one that ain't been married, but you also the only one that ain't divorced.
Hello.
Let me say this: if God forbid I get married and that thing don't work, the next album will be from the jail cell.
Yo,
I waited too long. Amen.
that one for sure, because it was embarrassing, and I was just like, man, y'all witnessed my fall. A lot of people try to figure out, because I didn't do what most people won't do. I use and understand discretion.
Oh,
Which-
you wasn't on social media, you mean?
Child.
Not one
Oh.
shadeful thing.
Child.
Now, and trust me, I felt very shadeful every day. I try to give people, when I give people advice or they ask me questions about that kind of thing, I'm like, I'm not telling you nothing I didn't do. I used to be a very shadeful tweeter. Oh God, I used to go berserk on Twitter. And it was just like, I'm not there anymore. Because if I go there, then that's showing the person you still have power and you're still taking up my mental space.
Yep.
And I'm not going to give you the satisfaction.
I know that's right.
So I went home. As they said in wrestling with Stone Cold, when he just walked out of the WWE, I took my ball and I went home.
I know that's right.
And so literally I was licking my wounds like, okay, y'all seen my fall. But when you see this rise, it's going to be a rise.
But I'm going to tell you what I learned from divorce, and I ain't been divorced, but
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you what ain't cool.
Go ahead.
People really don't want to make sure either party is cool. They just want to know what happened.
Yo,
Like,
facts.
they don't be concerned that two people's
Wow.
lives
Talk.
aren't okay anymore.
Talk.
People just want to
They want
know what
information.
happened.
Correct.
And that's terrible.
Well,
Correct.
I just wanted to say
That's
that.
why you got to turn pain to profit, because, honey, they'll pay
right
for
about
it.
And
You
let's
want to know? I'll tell you.
No, legit.
You
like,
want to know? I'll tell you, but you're going to pay $20 for this book.
listen, like that, and that's the part where that pain. That I say this all the time. You know, music sounds different when pain is in it.
Absolutely.
I know when Chris Brown has put pain in his music because I have a playlist right now on this cellular device where there's a playlist of songs where people are bleeding on the track, but it just sounds different. Pain supersedes genre. It doesn't matter what you do. It can be gospel, it can be pop, it can be R&B, it can be hip hop. You know when somebody has been through something and they put that thing in their music. It sounds so Radar has a bit of like all of that in there. That divorce is in there. You can hear the growth. You literally like the divorce is in there, the embarrassment is in there, but at the same time, you hear me bandaging myself up. You know what I mean? Through these lyrics, you hear me, all right, look in this mirror and be like, bro, it's just you and me right now.
Yep.
You, me, and God. So let's go. Because at this point, you can't stay here. And let's be clear, through a divorce, everybody goes through their own little period where sometimes you just need a little time to just breathe. Because you felt like you are drowning, and it feels like people. And when people are constantly looking for your information and not to figure out if you all right, you get tired of that. And let me just toot my own horn real quick one more time. Beep,
Might
beep.
as well.
I never name dropped when people was looking for information. Because you don't know why? Because that's not my job. This is the part I need my generation to get without getting all the way off subject. When it comes to that kind of stuff, you have to understand discretion and you have to understand vindication. That means I can't do God's job. What do I have? If the word be true, I'm gonna start praying for him.
Yeah.
Because sooner or later, you're going to have to take out what you done dished out. And sooner or later, there's going to be a bill with your name on it that is like, here, this is all that you have given out. You must now take. Pay this bill. So I stayed home. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I ain't rapping. I ain't doing music. I was like, come on now. I had my own. And to have to go back home. Huh? And gather yourself. Like, it was just, and I'm not gonna lie.
You preach it to the choir.
No, seriously, I'm not gonna lie. Some of them beats and songs at that time, I was like, man, because it was literally like, this is the only thing that's probably gonna bring part of my mind back, or whatever parts or fragments of my heart that I feel are shattered. This is the only thing that's gonna hot glue and super glue this thing together. That's it.
And to piggyback off of what you said, something that I just wrote about, I said you can't believe in karma and feel like it's never going to hit you. So if you take it upon yourself to dish out karma to somebody else, now you've accepted their karma. Whatever was meant for them is going to hit you now.
Facts.
So people don't understand that.
I'm going to tell you, because you said people do God's job. This is why I put my stuff in the music. Because one thing I've learned, people spend morning, noon, and night.
Yes, ma'am.
Trying to tell their side and convince people.
Facts.
And I'm going to tell you what I've learned.
Facts.
You could have receipts and proof.
Huh?
People believe what they want.
That's
Facts.
it.
People who just like mess,
Facts.
it does not matter. What you're saying could
Oh, yeah.
make perfect sense.
Yes,
They're
ma'am.
going with the messy side.
Facts.
'Cause that's what they like.
Facts.
Oh, yeah.
And if people have been waiting for a reason to discredit you,
Correct.
it doesn't matter if you prove
Nope.
that
What
you're
you saying?
correct. They're
Facts.
not going to hear what you're saying.
Nope.
So all this
Waiting to discredit you?
Oh yes.
What? Huh?
So people go
Who
out
do
their
that?
way.
Oh.
They go out their way
Yes,
trying
they
to
do.
prove a point, and the people you're trying to prove it to don't want to believe it.
Nope.
Even if you give them facts and proof, they don't want to.
No.
So you
Facts.
might as well just put that energy into something you enjoy, because
Right.
it's pointless.
Say it again.
You can, once a rumor is out there, you cannot control where it goes
Talk.
and who listens to it.
Talk.
One of my exes said something, and if he ain't never told the truth, he said all you can do is outlive it.
That's
he said,
it.
there's nothing you can do to control it.
Nope.
Once it's out.
No, legit. Right here, in my shin
That
bone.
man was all the way right. He said all you can do is outlive it, and that's a fact.
That's a fact.
So all of this, and I'm gonna tell you what upsets me about some things with that situation, just in general, that are said. People come back.
Oh my God.
Help me, Lord. People come back and apologize, and they apologize to you privately when they did all this damage publicly.
Yo.
So you done tore my name up, my family's name up.
Hold on.
See, now I'm up.
Hold on.
Now I'm up.
I
But-
just said
Now I'm
this
up.
the other day.
Now I'm up. Go ahead.
That's that's my thing. Y'all apologize privately, but y'all talked about my squad publicly everywhere.
Everywhere.
There are people to this day who treat me and my brother differently because of things that were said
Talk.
to people.
Listen.
And now y'all want to be sorry, but
Talk.
y'all not letting them millions of people y'all told this to. Why
Talk.
don't y'all go back and tell them you lied?
Talk.
Listen, I made the statement the other day. I said, as loud as your disrespect was, that's how loud your apology
That's how
should
loud
be.
it gotta be. It has to be. It has to be.
That's what blows my mind.
Facts.
They do damage on the Richter scale, but want to
Facts.
apologize as a whisper.
Facts.
That's not cool.
That ain't cool.
And for people who may watch and want to, there's been many apologies just this year. So if you think we talking about you,
We are.
may not. We could be or we could not be, but there's been many apologies, at least for Tony. The people that hate me, they trying to take that to their grave.
Child,
I'm cool
yeah,
with it too, but
it's a
cool
different
with me.
it's a different type of hate there, boy.
It is
levels. Like and the thing is, I told Riecee, I said I'm scared about what March getting ready to bring. January had one, February had one. I said I don't know what in the world getting ready to happen
Listen.
in March.
Listen, I had a friend of mine. She said this morning, she said, Christian, you on episode 3.
Episode 3, what?
January, February, March. This is
Oh.
episode 3.
Legit though, like y'all all and here's what's funny, right? Even with all of that slander, I still stay true. We still stay true to who we were.
Correct.
And that's the point she's making. Even when things got back, I wasn't like, Riecee, we gotta jump out ahead of this.
No.
And now we gotta combat with what they say and what actually happened with the truth. No, not doing that. Not doing that. I have to allow God to do his job. Because if there's one thing that I know that God is to my family, is he is a vindicator. And I know it to be true for a fact. He will vindicate. I can't. He will vindicate my family. And the thing is, this the problem with my generation. We've been taught when you hear somebody saying something, you go track it down. For what? What do I have to track down? Because what's going to happen is, like you said, you're not going to be able to change their opinion. They're going to believe what they want to believe. That's going to be wasted energy. You're going to punch them in the mouth and you'll be in jail.
Yep.
Rotten over something so stupid you should have handled with maturity and be like, you know what? Your day going to come.
This is what amazes me about like love and hip hops. That these love and hip hop shows, the whole show is about us meeting because you said something about me.
Yes.
So I need to
Address it.
Like this is
This
what
is-
y'all do as adults.
And that's why I've always hated meetings.
Comedy.
That's why I've always hated
Comedy.
This is why I've hated meetings in anything.
Agreed.
Because you leave that meeting, people don't say what they really been saying privately, and then it only make the situation worse. All these people
At
that want to
least in my
confront everything,
experience.
these frontalists, that I just made up a word. All these
Confrontalists.
confrontational people that just love to sit down and we just got to have a meet for what? The situation not gonna change. I'm gonna leave frustrated. I'm gonna leave more pissed than I already was.
Or you be there and you really think that something has changed, and in 2 weeks the same stuff is
It's
Right.
back. It's back.
Right.
It's back like it never left because it did leave. It never left.
Oh God.
But yeah, that radar. I'm telling people, when I really say I put me in that track, that is Tony Lawrence Witherspoon II.
I was thinking of doing a video talking like to promote it. And when I was thinking about the words, I was like, my brother told a story in this song.
Yeah,
Like,
yo.
there's a story. Like, there's a whole story in this.
And storytelling rap is my favorite
That's what
kind.
that's his favorite.
Yo, that is storytelling
the
rap.
songs he like off rap albums. I'm like, Tony.
Reese and Chelsea, they just be looking at me like, bro, what for real? And I'd be like, yo, of course, like Outkast, the art of storytelling, can listen to that all day long.
Because it creates a timeline.
And
Then it makes it understandable.
yes,
So now you can you won't just understand this track, but now you finna understand the whole album.
the whole
I
thing.
just gave you complete insight
Correct.
on what was really going on in my life
Correct.
during this time
Correct.
without telling you.
Correct. And that is why we loved, like, in our generation, because we're pretty around the same age, our thriller was Confessions. We could not
That's
wait.
a fact.
We could not wait to hear what Usher tried to play it so bad. Like that wasn't about Chili, bro. That's why the album is still his best album to date, because all that is all that pain from that breakup, the situation. Even there are certain songs that probably led to the cheating. You know what I'm saying? Or that explained how he cheated. Like literally what Thriller was for my mom and dad and them in the 80s, that's what Confessions was for us in 2004. We could not wait. It was like must see TV. Again, social media is in its beginning skirts. Like Black Planet is still strong. The Loop is still strong. And MySpace is, I only know the Loop because my sister was on there. I wasn't old enough for the
That
Loop.
is indeed true.
I was not old enough for the Loop.
Someone met me at school so that I could see them. They did indeed. He drove up there.
I'm hollering.
Amen.
So literally that whole album, Usher was in turmoil. That boy was hurting. He gave us the cute songs like Yeah, and got that one out the way. And then the next song was You're Gonna Want Me Back. He went straight to it like, all right, y'all, we got the fun one out the way. Now we got to deal with what's
But you
really
know what
happened.
was weird about that song?
First of all, that is my dad's favorite
That has
song.
to be one of his best selling songs because the old heads loved that.
Yes, yo,
my Aunt Dawn.
Yes.
loved Yeah, and Aunt Dawn don't
we were somewhere out shopping, my family and I.
in Philly.
And we were in Philly. The music came on. Reese, you played it. This is my dad.
Do 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 do. He really did. We was looking at him like,
I
what
said,
the-
Reese, look at your dad. But when that thing come on that skating ring, my dad be gone. Can't wait for that thing to come
It
on.
was weird. Like it was like all generations.
It,
like
yo,
that song.
Confession.
Weird.
There are certain albums, not to get off subject, but there are just certain albums that everything that you need is in there. But Pain Pain drove Confessions. I believe that To Pimp a Butterfly is the greatest album of the last decade. Kendrick Lamar literally put the pain of what his people were feeling at the and I remember watching the behind the scenes, and the guy was interviewing him like, Kendrick, the fact that you're dropping this stuff, and then literally what had just happened with Trayvon happened. And Kendrick was like, it's God, bro. He was like, that's the best way I could put it. Literally, he was able to shape that pain of people. When you can shape pain in the lyrics, that is a gift not to be taken lightly.
Talk about it.
There are things that we will experience that will help other people. They can't articulate it the way we can.
Yes.
So that is a gift not to be taken lightly. And so, you know, I just, The fact that I didn't even look at Radar as like a storytelling type thing, but I'm not gonna hold you. That is my favorite. Like I think the greatest Jay-Z track ever is Allure. He tells the story of basically the song's about addiction. He knows he basically painted it because at the time he was going to retire. So Pharrell basically called him and was like, he said, I know exactly where you're at right now in your career. He said, you like a mobster trying to do one last job. He said, I'm trying to tell you, I have the beat and the song that describes that moment accurately. Like, he was so confident. He said, your boy Guru, who was the engineer, he said, when he get here, he already know you going to end up doing the song like the moment you get here. Jay walked in, he played the song, and you can literally see Pharrell giving him the hook. But every time I felt bad was that it called me right back. Because the hook, he basically saying, I know I need to stop, but I know the moment I get near whatever I'm trying to get away from, it's going to pull me right back in. So through 3 verses, he broke down the levels of addiction of, man, I'm really trying to stop. My intentions are pure. I know I need to stop, but that addiction got me so bad, I know if I get near it, I'm not going to stop. Once you start storytelling rap, forget it. You got me hooked from the rip. No, for real. I got a whole playlist, I'm telling you.
All right, you want us to go to the hook yet, or you still? All right.
And just a nod at other storytelling. Me and Tony was just talking about this. I don't know if I can say one of the greatest moments in music history, but I think you have to say it. Was that freaking Trapped in the Closet?
Yo,
I was running to
did
the
we
car
not just talk facts
to listen to it because you wanted to hear the
yes,
next
you did.
part of the story.
Yes, you did. We were at a telemarketing place at Glassboro. It was my first job ever. And literally on our lunch breaks, we were running out
We were.
to hear. They were like the part 5 of Trapped in the Closet at 5:00. Literally, we was in the car at 5 on lunch break going to Wendy's listening to this thing. Trapped in the. Say what you want about Robert. That Trapped in the Closet series.
Yeah, I forgot he was in jail till I said that. So
Yeah, you know.
I'm gonna go ahead and read the hook. Facts is facts.
Facts is facts.
So the hook says,
He trapped in jail now.
he better not come out with no story from that.
He better not.
Trapped in the cell. That's not gonna be good.
No, it is not.
Hook. Frustration creeps.
Ah.
Frustration will be creeping. My God. The hook. Frustration creeps. Because they don't see what I see. So isolation for me is the requirement for what I gotta be. I'm flying under the radar. I'm flying under the radar.
Read.
Your boy under the radar, and they'll never see me coming. And then he says it again. I'm flying under the radar. I'm flying under the radar.
Listen, frustration creeps.
Yeah.
Because they don't see what I see.
Yeah.
This goes back to what you were saying earlier about how you can have all the proof and the evidence of the actual truth.
Yep.
And could clear your name.
Yes.
And the Lord will tell you to be quiet.
Yes, he will.
Nobody believes the truth when the liars
people
weren't
don't
in
believe.
town.
People don't believe that I at that particular time in my life, I was doing more apologizing than the people I was waiting for apologies from.
Oh,
And I mean, I heard the Lord swiftly and clearly. He said, "You were wrong. Go say sorry." I said, "You have got to be joking." I said, "There's no way. You have got to be." And he said, "You were wrong," and I sure enough
Listen,
went right there.
bruh.
Yeah,
And it's crazy because you'll be in a situation where you're being done wrong, and then God will use it as a teaching moment to
Yes,
let
he
you
will.
to show you the errors of your ways.
yes, he will. Yes, he will.
But hey, man, you can punch me tomorrow. But Doc, can we talk about the fact that they did X, Y, and Z?
Right.
Can we? No. Oh, so isolation is the requirement for me. Okay.
Somebody upset me on the phone a couple days ago, and I was low key ready to fight. I'm not even gonna lie. And I love the person dearly, but it was getting ready to go left. And hours later, the Lord let me hear what they were saying, And I could see where I had done that before.
Yeah.
And it was like, now you see how people feel when you do that. It was
Bro, yo,
and I was like, and I ate it. I was like, you are all the way right.
he be right.
I said, you all the way right. So let me tell you something. That sarcasm thing does more harm than good.
Facts.
A lot of us probably should leave that alone.
Facts.
Because in the right moments, you could wind up.
No, legit.
In the wrong moments,
You
you
could do
wind up
real
fist
damage.
fighting people you really love.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
it just don't be the time for that. Like, there's a time and a place for everything. This ain't it. This ain't the
This
moment.
ain't one of them times.
I was getting ready to tell that individual, so I really was, and I respect them, but it was about to go down, and then the Lord was like, "You do that." I was like, "You're absolutely right." Like, okay,
Right.
all right, but that's, amen.
Yeah.
Because humility will make you acknowledge, like, you're right.
Come on.
Facts.
When you're not humble, you'll just act like you don't hear him talking to
Right.
you, and
Facts.
you'll just keep being terrible.
Yep.
But I think the point of life is for you to keep evolving.
Evolving.
getting better. I think that's called maturity, I think.
Facts. I
But
think that's what they call it.
I don't think that. really
I will
happens
also
anymore.
say the flip to the frustration part is when you have all the evidence
Yes.
and you still can't reveal it.
Yep.
When because you still gotta cover the person.
The
person who's doing you wrong. And you have all the they done tarnished and everything. I mean, tore your whole personality, your character, everything about you apart.
Destroyed it.
And some of the most respectable, most honorable people are now questioning you
Yeah.
and looking at you with crossed eyes and two heads.
Yeah.
And you just
And that
I apologize.
and
I take it.
That frustration was like it literally I can accumulate the hook with. I feel like it was like that moment, if you've seen The American Dream with the Jackson 5, where Michael was talking to his mom, grown Michael now, and he was basically telling her, like, I got all these songs in my head, and it's like I kind of don't know where to go. Like, I don't know how to articulate it. I don't know how to get it out. It's like I got something great, but I can't even execute it. So it's getting frustrating. So for me, it was like I felt that same kind of way where it's like it's almost like early Kanye. Like Kanye before that college dropout dropped, and he got a song at the end called Last Call where he explains his entire story. Right. It's one of my favorite Kanye West songs ever. And literally he like, I had deals. I played Jesus Walks. They looked at me like I was crazy. Mm-hmm. I played the workout plan. I played Through the Wire. They looked at me like, so literally you have this, you've already gotten a glimpse of your greatness. And it's like nobody else sees this thing, huh? So frustration creeps because they not seeing what I'm seeing. Right. But you know what? Let me go into this isolation because that's exact. Everybody be so scared of being by themselves, not realizing that's probably one of the keyest moments and keyest times in your development for whatever you're doing. There's no getting around being by yourself.
Let's just say this: understand that isolation is not a place of depression.
No, not at all.
It is a place for recovery and restoration.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I just needed to
or it's a lifestyle.
Right.
No, legit.
Jasmine asked me when we was doing the video. She was like, "Why do you want to do the concert?" And let me just say this. If you're going to interview me, you should probably prep me because there is no telling what I will say.
Facts.
She asked Tony first, and I couldn't think of nothing else to say. She said, "So what's your reasoning for doing the concert?" I said, "I want them to put some respect on my name." I was trying to find a way to sugarcoat it. And then finally I said, "Can I do that over?" Again, this is why you need to send me your questions ahead of time.
Yeah, just the FYI.
And she said, "So why'd you want to do the concert?" I said, "Well, I said this song I really love. I said it sums it up. I said frustration creeps because they don't see what I see. I said, but isolation for me is a requirement for what I gotta be. I said, so we flying under the radar. We're flying under the radar, and they'll never see me coming. And at the end, I said, so since they refuse to see, I said we just gonna turn the radar on us.
Legit."
That's what we're doing with this. I I think if you're a People's Choice Award winner, you can't really understand a song like this.
Facts.
Like, you'll like the beat, but you like the words won't resonate with you. Because if you ain't had to fight for respect,
Facts.
then you don't understand this.
Facts.
And just the fact that Kanye had all those songs, I try to keep myself encouraged with looking at Fetty Wap's model because, and as it's well documented, I'm a Whopper with cheese. I'm a very big Fetty Wap fan, and I to think that Trap Queen now is one of the, I think there's only 4 hip hop songs that have ever gone diamond. Trap Queen is one of them.
For real?
But he had that song and all these songs he had put out on YouTube, SoundCloud. Wasn't nobody paying him no
Years
mind.
No mind.
Oh mine.
And
Yep.
it took, I think it was Kanye. It
Yeah.
took the right person
Yep.
to hear it and see it. And you have to keep your head
Yes.
filled with stories like that, because you'll sit back like, because you know good. I'm one of those people, when I'm in the studio, I try to listen through the ears of my haters. So I try
Facts.
to really write stuff with the eyes of my haters and listen
Yeah.
to it with the ears of my haters.
Yeah.
And when you get done some things, like, you know, certain songs is cool songs to put on the album, then you know when you got one.
Yep.
And when you know you got one and you put it out and it ain't one,
Facts. That'll mess with your psyche.
you start to wonder, like, what the freak is going on?
What is going
Like,
on here?
And you thank God for people like that with stories like that, where it's like and it's amazing that people are in these positions that are supposed to be able to tell when one is in front of them or
Yeah.
when they hear one, and they just let you slide right by, and you have to be okay with that. I remember
Yep.
when my mom was preaching, she talked about this author whose books got rejected and rejected and rejected and rejected and rejected and rejected. And she told the story, and at the end of it, the man was Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
And I was like, okay, so
Yeah.
this does happen. Like, it's just encouraging, but frustration can be crippling.
Yes, it can.
Like, it actually can turn into torment.
Yes,
Because
it
when
can.
you know you're good or great at something, and people they just for whatever, they just refuse to acknowledge it.
that thing can mess with you.
It messes with you.
Yes,
it
it
does.
does.
And you just you try to figure out, and this is why I think you have to kind of make music like this. And I think that's why music like this has
Been on
disappeared.
life. Yes, ma'am.
Because the people who are getting on now, they just decided they wanted to do music yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, they figured out that they could dye their hair and put on
Talk.
some tight clothes and jump around and
Please
mumble and
Please
be a
talk.
star. So they
And
don't
get shot at. Sorry.
I didn't even mean to laugh. Yo, your commentary today is just.
Legit,
But they
though.
don't know the struggle of trying to fight for it.
Nope.
So this kind of music with you're not hearing anymore because these kids just decided yesterday they wanted to sing and rap.
Legit.
Here's the thing. Listening to all that you just said and how you described your place of isolation, right? So I'm back to the title, radar. So you think about a radar, you can't be seen.
Right.
But if you take a radar Doppler, it can see that there's something on the radar,
Something's on there.
but it can't identify what
it is.
exactly the thing is.
Yeah.
So it's not until I show up, bing, bing, listen, because on the screen, I look like this little dot.
Right. Right.
All right.
Right.
I feel empowered again. I think I just got my second win, y'all. Ah! Yeah. No, I'm telling you, man, this thing had me in my...
Legit.
All in my head. All in my head. I'm telling you, I mean, it's crazy because when you are... In a position, and y'all, you know, everybody actually can relate. When you wear different hats and you have to switch those hats, it sometimes can conflict with the other part of you.
Very true.
But because you're in this hat, I can't do this, or I can't say that.
Right.
I have to do this. I have
So
to do
true.
that way, and it takes you to a point and a place of isolation because now you're like, well, wait a minute, because I heard myself on what I said. I don't agree with that
So true.
because I really feel like, and I really want to punch you, but
That's
You-
me all day.
you
Like,
understand?
am I a mental health professional right now?
Or am I- listen.
Because the friend in me telling you need to shut it up and get it together. But the mental health professional in me is like, all right, well, where's your trigger? What is causing these concerns? What is the problem? Let's work through this. Where did this pain start? But in my mind, I'm like, bro, if you don't get this together, like, this is not cute.
And you don't
understand.
see what I see.
Like
You don't see what I see.
You don't see it.
With the conflicting hats, I think me and Tony. See, somebody was bold enough to say it to Tony. They ain't say it to me, and thank the Lord, because just from his picture, because his hoodie was partially unzipped, and because of other hats we wear, they were like, "What are we selling? We selling music. Like, what the freak you mean?" But the same thing. Nobody has said anything to me. Oh, but I'm positive that red pantsuit
Oh yeah.
that I wore.
Oh yes.
Oh, I'm sure that has been major
Topic of discussion.
major topic.
Oh yes.
Now,
But you know what amazes me? I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this.
I was
but
about to
I'm
say, here
gonna
we
say
go.
it. Because even the good saints have talked about Trinity 5-7, but it ain't stopped them from spinning. They talked
Yo,
about Mary,
and they-
Mary.
and they
It
spin.
didn't stop them from getting all your praises and money.
It
So
sure didn't.
listen, what are you? Not what are we selling, but what are you buying?
but
How about that?
Can I even draw a line with Trinity 5-7?
Draw that line.
Oh God,
yeah.
with Trinity 5-7,
Mm-hmm.
they gave off a vibe of what people said. I'm just gonna say that.
Can't lie.
Mary was just thick.
They were
pretty
just
girls.
dope. Yeah, they were just dope.
They were shapely girls who were pretty, and as we all know, it is a sin to
Huh?
be pretty and sexy in gospel music
Huh?
and in God's house.
Huh?
How dare you have a fat butt with no stomach?
Yo,
How
fa-
dare you
facts.
have boobs and they not be down to your calf muscles?
Facts.
How dare you?
Facts.
So, as we all know, that was the it. But that's what I'm saying. They need to know the difference.
Correct.
Like there's a difference.
A huge
and there
one.
are some people who are fully clothed and give off a certain vibe.
Huh?
Right.
And y'all love them, and I'm trying to figure out how you not
How
picking
can't you
up
see it?
what's going on.
Huh?
But then other people, because they're attractive, y'all automatically have an issue.
But where is your mind?
That's insane.
That's the whole thing. Where is your mind?
You're on the wrong
Because
stuff.
while you looking at me like
Correct.
that, what's on your mind?
We talked about that. Everybody wants to do when we be in church and a young lady, the Lord touches her and she gets up and gives God a praise. Now y'all want to tie her down and have meetings after church about how to dress the girls. The real meeting is with the perverts who need deliverance,
Huh?
because there's no way that 30-second praise should
arouse you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Nah, I said it.
If we in church and our goal, those of us that are staff there, leaders there, is to have people free.
Right.
If somebody starts dancing and their booty is jiggling or their boobs are everywhere, but you can see that God is really doing something for them, you should be able to put your mind on Jesus and
Just for a
get
little
them
while.
through that moment and encourage them. Go ahead and get free. Go ahead. No, we so busy tying people down because we worried about it. Well, why? Let's talk about why you're worried about that in God's house.
In his
Did
house.
you come here for him or did you come here because you like the young ladies? And-
Huh?
Oh, all right. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. we dealing with
Go ahead.
okay, so we want to treat the cold, but why don't we just tell people put on a scarf, a hat, and gloves when you come outside? Like, we're dealing with the later parts when we could fix it in the beginning parts and prevent it.
Facts.
If you came out dressed for the weather, then you won't catch the cold. So if we deal with some of these dirty
you come
minds,
out
men
dressed for
and
the
women,
weather,
then we could fix the.
You won't catch the
Okay.
cold. You know, that was profound.
So I'm just saying. So even with that, like,
It's craziness.
and I keep saying it, I know y'all believe everybody like gospel and this worship thing. I'm telling y'all that we not playing that in our cars. I'm just letting you know
We
that.
are not playing them in the car.
Not my age bracket.
We're not.
Not me.
We're not. It works in service. And because people are actresses and actors in God's house,
Oh,
it is
God.
the greatest drama performance going right now.
Oh, God.
They make sure they learn these things so they know how to act when they come in his house and put on their performance.
Oh, God.
But as far as music they love, it is not this. It's not.
I actually enjoy visiting some other churches, some of them, because that's when I learned some of this gospel music. Because other than that, I wouldn't hear it.
That's the only way I learned.
I wouldn't hear it.
I remember going to church at a time and being in there, the elders would get up on the pulpit and get to singing a hymn that nobody know, and it's just the funniest awkward moment in the world. And I remember being a little girl and they used to pass out the hymn books, but they've done away with that, and they just assume you're supposed to know all these songs. I think it's just the chuckle.
No, because I'm the one in service texting, what's this song?
Ah!
YouTube and the lyrics. I know, I need to know.
Oh my God.
And please don't pass me the mic. Can you sing? I don't
Nope.
know this song.
No,
I'll be right here.
No, but we also grew up in a church that eventually became, let's say a world-renowned choir or what have you, and they would be singing these original songs and be putting the microphone out like the saint's supposed to sing, and I'd be like, what's going on? This is an original. When did we hear this? I don't know. It's certain things that I don't understand, but God bless everybody.
I get what challenges me with this music, and then I'm going to be done getting us off topic. What challenges me about the music specifically in church now is that I'm not an actor or an actress in God's house.
No.
I'm too real to ever be fake. It just ain't in me.
Right.
So when I come there, whatever display you see from me, it is real because of my relationship with him.
Right.
So when you start talking to him in ways that I don't connect.
Correct.
And I got news for y'all. Half the people singing this stuff, they don't connect with it neither.
Nope.
They don't talk to him like that. They didn't even write the freaking song.
Nope.
And some of them that do just know how to access your weird emotions
Correct.
so that they can get your money.
Correct.
That's all it is.
Correct.
I don't talk to God. I had a song I had to learn, and I was struggling because it talked about my bones will sing. My bones don't sing to God. I'm sorry. Do your bones sing?
No.
My bones don't sing, so I don't know what the freak you talking about. Whose bones is singing to the Lord?
I don't know, Doc.
What? It's when you talk like that, I don't connect. But when you tell him that you love him, can't live without him. Now I'm
Simple
with,
stuff,
that's how I
but
feel.
that's how I feel.
And there is a group of people when talking like that is authentic
Yes.
to them. I don't have an issue with them doing it because when they do it, it's impactful.
Right.
However, for the rest of the peanut gallery
Huh?
that's doing it because that's where the money is at, I don't be with it. And then it makes those of us with relationship that talk to him like he's our dad because we have a relationship with him, so we don't have pretenses. There's a way I talk to my mom. Most people don't talk to their mother because I got a relationship with my mom.
Correct.
Me and my mom are friends.
Correct.
So I talk to her. There's stuff I tell her people would take to their grave.
Right.
I actually talk to the Lord.
Right.
So there are things, I talk to him regularly.
Right.
So when you come with this pomp and circumstance with talking to him,
Right.
it does not register with me because I don't talk to him like that.
Right. Especially in the critical moments. Like in critical moments where I really need something, I'm like, you're the dew of my life. You provide a fire and I'll provide a sacrifice. I'm like, Lord, what is going on? If you don't fix this, it won't be fixed. And I want you to fix it. I'm not talking like that.
A preacher said to me, and we laughed, and some people would deem this disrespectful, but I understood. He said, I don't got time for all that. He said, I'd be like, Lord, you better fix this. He said, and if he catch me at the right day, I'd be like, nigga, you better fix this.
I know that's right.
Legit, though.
That's how you, when I'm
Relationship.
upset, I talk to him like, where are you?
Where are you?
Do you see this? Did you hear that? Where are you at? And then after he lets me get it out, I'll be like, but I love you anyway.
Right.
You're going to always be good.
Right.
You good when I like it. You good when I don't like
Right.
it. That's how I talk to him.
Correct.
So, Jubilee songs and stuff register with me.
Still.
God is a good God.
Yes, he is.
That registers with me because that's how I talk to him. Amen.
Amen.
And are we saying do away with the worship? No,
Absolutely
we saying
not.
bring back the other stuff.
Be
Huh?
authentic.
Amen.
How about that?
That's all we asking.
There you
Be
go.
authentic.
We don't want a copycat.
Be real.
We
Amen.
want I can't say that.
We got enough entertainment.
Amen.
Correct.
No, we have enough.
And
And most of them are.
That's
in
why.
a-
That's
and
why
most-
I'm here at the altar, because of the entertainment.
And
Meaning Monday through Saturday.
and most of
I had
them-
enough entertainment.
And most of them are in an identity crisis.
Right.
You don't even know who you are as a person or an artist. You don't know
Don't
because
know.
I can't tell you how many times. This is how I know. That's how I know we get in the forefronts of actually running this label, because I can't tell you how many times my sister and I go in places and we be like, that ain't even who they are. Wrong, you in the wrong lane. There's traffic in that lane because everybody thinks that's the lane that's going, not realizing
some of
there
these
is
people,
traffic.
some of these people dress just like the people.
Legit.
They sound just like the people.
Legit.
You know. So now we call you mini Tashas and mini this and mini. Be you. Be who
you!
God called you to be.
Be you,
legit.
An effective sound.
And
please.
what bothers me, probably the utmost, is the lack of discernment
Oh
in
Jesus!
God's house.
Oh my
they
God!
got judging down to a T.
Child, read
But
these lyrics.
discerning, no.
No.
Read these lyrics.
No.
Let's not even.
Amen.
Oh my.
Not
Jesus.
not judging.
No, not judging. Discerning.
If anybody know where my isolation come from, y'all hear what they talk. That's why I be sitting up in my room.
I watch people come in church that look a mess, but their heart was so pure.
Yes.
And people treat them so bad. And then you got people who is dressed
From head to toe.
and the nastiest boogers you ever want to
I-
see in
I-
your life, and y'all think that God is in that.
And I mean,
just-
they don't even have a relationship. They just know the sound that's gonna get a
Yep.
reaction.
legit.
But we gonna move.
Amen. So verse 2 says,
What does it
folks will never give you your just due.
Mm-mm.
So
Never.
just blaze, do your thing, and stay true. The best kept secrets in the house. Public service announcement, the secret is out.
This out.
But let's not make this all about me,
Huh?
because there are many others like me.
Uh-huh.
Whenever you share your vision, it just brings division.
Huh?
Yeah, they hear you talking. No, they weren't listening.
Nope.
And then you're scratching your head. How come they don't get it? I'm not like everybody else. Boy, I'm different.
Surely.
You can't think giant
Huh?
hanging around with midgets.
Huh?
Area code switch up. You got to change your digits.
Huh?
This ain't for everybody.
Nope.
It's strictly for the misfits.
Yeah.
Keep your measuring tape, because we don't need to be fitted.
Mm-mm.
We don't fit in. No need for you to judge. We just throwing a change up. We hope you brought the glove. Catch that.
Do you
Drops
understand
mic
what I'm
here.
saying?
You could have ended the song right there. Catch that.
You understand what I'm saying? That's immediately where I
man.
went. Yeah, did you catch it though? But did you catch
But did
it?
you? But did like
Area
did-
code switch up. I'm gonna point them out so they understand.
Right.
Giant hanging around with midgets. That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it just that one just. I don't know, man. That there, like literally again. That's me in that 4 or 5 year period. where it's
Measuring
like,
tape because we don't need to be fitted.
We don't.
Keep it. You can keep it. That's what he.
Because let's
needed.
be clear, they see, a lot of them see this whole misfit tag of my sister and I as a cry for help. And it's like, you're wrong. It's not a cry for help. It is a declaration of, we find right where we're at.
Confidence. I'm
I was
comfortable
gonna
and
say, that's
confident
them
on who
projecting
and where
their
I
own
am.
Insecurity. If I'm not comfortable with who I am, how can you be comfortable with not fitting in? That's your problem, boo.
Can
I'm
I
just
tell
fine.
you? Can I tell you what somebody
You
said
alright?
to me? Somebody told me
If you're gonna say the Lord told them, just
I'm
stop.
good because they don't like me and they're no longer friends with me, so they won't see this. And even if they do, I didn't lie. They told me the Lord said I was going to need to fix my misfit tag because my husband was going to feel like that was something he had to overcome.
Well, that ain't your husband, sis.
Like he was going to be like I was challenging him to, and I just sat there.
Bottom
And
line.
they asked me what it was and then told me that I was going to have to lose it. And it was just like,
Also, I want to say, I think that some people believe that they hear the Lord, and I think that it's a form of schizophrenia. That's just my own personal belief, but God bless them.
that gift of hearing the Lord has made a lot of monsters, and a lot of people get
It's projecting.
people get clout and then they can say whatever they want and put God's name to it.
Facts.
So what they do is tell you about how they feel about you.
Facts.
And then tag his name to it.
Facts.
And because people for some reason have put these people in royal spots,
Facts.
nobody challenges the fact that now what they saying makes no freaking sense.
None.
And the remnant that sees them for what they are, we're not seeing. We're the ones discerning, seeing, and hearing.
Yes.
The masses is missing it, but that's not. And if people really read their word, that's how it goes.
That is how it goes.
It's always been a small group of people that
Correct.
that
You
had
understand?
it together.
Right, and that's what I mean. I think it's a real mental health thing because not lying is always an issue for me. But if you're comfortable with lying on the Lord, right? Because the fear that
Agreed.
invokes in me
too,
Agreed.
makes
sis.
me feel like
Me too.
you mentally
Yes.
something is off
Agreed.
because you can't be walking around cool with that. Like there's just no way.
Agreed.
He got too much power. Like you just gonna trip, and the road is gonna end.
Yeah, there will be no room.
And you just gonna fall off. Like I don't know. That's just too much for me. It's
But
too
this
scary.
is why I would rather rock with people who don't necessarily go to church because they still have fear of him.
They have fear.
Oh,
People who's-
ultimate respect. That's the big homie for life for me.
People
I'm just
who
saying.
are in church because we're ain't no weird, but I'll say weird, but you know I ain't included in this. We're there so much, it's just ritual. People forget he's actually a real person.
Legit.
Like he's real. Like he hears what you're saying.
Legit.
He sees what you're doing.
Legit.
And this is why some things are happening the way they are and people will never admit it, but some people are starting to pay the bill.
Huh?
Some things are happening because you thought that because he didn't do anything yet,
He was gonna get away
with
scot-free.
what you was doing.
Oh,
That's
he's
what
a
you
patient person.
And 2020 and 2021, he is presenting
coming,
the bill.
honey.
To
There's the
people.
bill. Like,
Like-
hear what you did. Now you got to pay this thing. And some of y'all, there's an overdraft.
Listen,
I'm gonna stop.
And let me
talking.
tell you, the way
Listen.
my
That's why I just
anxiety
stopped
set up,
talking.
the longer it takes
Oh,
for it to
I
come,
just
the
stopped
more
talking.
nervous I am. Let's go ahead and get this out the way because I know I messed up over there. I don't want to see it over here.
Yeah, I did. Amen.
Shout out to Douglas. Shout out to Desiree.
Yeah.
Listen, hit her cash app. She said I would like to sow into her ministry. Come on.
No.
oh, good night.
Oh my goodness, man.
Hey to the men.
I ain't even gonna touch the lyrics on this one on verse 2. I'm just going to. I ain't.
Verse 2 was literally that one was like
You low key snap, bro. That's
just
all I'm going
I
to
go
say.
front to catch
You-
that part. I was like, oh
You
shoot.
snap. And even that part, it was like, yeah, I said everything I said. I meant it. And shut up.
It's like, all right,
Take it or leave it.
Say
Like,
something.
yeah, I dare you.
I've licked my wounds. Now I'm on the comeback trail. And literally, if you find yourself in these lyrics, you provided them. So you played your part.
You played your.
You know what? I feel like I say the same things all the time. People probably be like, "She an old lady," and that's fine with me. But
Consistency is key. But go ahead. Say it again.
And one thing
Amen.
I said to people is, you can say what you want about me, but I'm nothing if not consistent. So if you like me and then don't like me, that's you, because I'm very consistent with who I am.
Huh?
Amen.
Huh?
But this is why music used to be so great.
Correct.
Because songs like this, like people who feel this way, like there's an empowerment you feel when you hear lyrics
Absolutely.
like this. And this is what we lose. Like now we're empowering so much
Nonsense.
terribleness.
Nonsense.
It is
Terribleness.
nonsense.
But this is the power of it. Like this literally could take somebody who's suicidal because they feel like nothing's gonna get better and make them feel like, oh, I'm not the only one.
Correct.
Like, oh, like there's other people frustrated like me and feel like nobody sees them.
The point of music is to grab them and to literally take their shoes off, be like, hey, them same size shoes you got, I was in them same shoes. Right. So there's hope for you. Like, if you can't make something for them to identify with, then what are you doing?
Oh, they making stuff to identify with. It just
For the longest time, my bio on my social media platforms was, I'm not following you if you're not going anywhere. And that's my thing with music. I'm not listening to your music if you're not saying nothing.
Take
me somewhere. And take me somewhere I want to go.
Radar got her on fire. Yeah. She's just having it tonight.
Somewhere I want to go. Like, if you're not saying, everybody always be like, what's the new who's some of the new cats you listen to? Most of these cats ain't saying nothing.
I be sitting there like,
I got maybe outside of, and I don't even feel like they're not even new anymore. Like, they're starting to get old. The Kendricks, the Drakes, the Coles, the Big Seans,
I'm having the hardest time in my life right now on making a decision on if I should keep satellite radio in my car or not, because I don't listen to the radio and satellite radio. You can create your own stations. I get a good mix of some oldies. Listen, I'm like, the struggle. It's really a hard decision.
The struggle.
I'm gonna have to budget this because
I'm always surprised when one of the newer acts come along. One of the newer acts come along on my radar. Like, if I even hear you at all, like, right. I'm just surprised. But I was listening to the Drake 3-pack earlier, and I heard Lil Baby, and I was like, oh, he can rap. He got skills.
All right.
Like, I was really shocked.
I thought I wasn't the only
one. And it was a standout verse on the Drake 3-pack. I was like, oh, check you out, youngin'. I was like, this is me, the old head. Like, okay, so some of these kids really got talent.
Because it just by who he is. I always, when I get on the subject, I always compare it to the Kanye Jay-Z factor. Mm-hmm. You know when Jay is rapping, like he got something to prove, and you know when Jay just here to get this money. Mm-hmm. Jay, like, for example, and I always use his features because, like, Suit and Tie, Jay said nothing really crazy lyrical on that thing. That is about swagger and the fact that I got money. I know I'm always in the suit and the tie, and plus I just fit this groove perfectly. Whereas whenever he's on the track with Kanye makes him rap. If he don't, because he know Kanye can outshine me. So if I don't, he gonna make me rap. Mm-hmm. Drake made that boy rap. He made Baby rap. He had. I can't gimmick and mumble my way through this one. I gotta actually say something.
I'm not really familiar, but when I heard it, I was like, oh, Snizzy. Like, it really caught me off guard.
I was like, oh, all right. I promise you, I thought I was the only one that caught that.
I'm gonna have to play that because I kind of like Baby because I think he's a comedian.
I think he's one of the real ones. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely, he's gonna end up in jail very soon.
That's what I'm saying.
He keep putting his hands on people.
Yeah,
we respect you in these streets, bro. Please stop.
That's the Baby. We talk about Lil Baby. I know.
Oh, this makes more sense.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's getting confusing.
The last Baby.
It gets confusing.
That's gonna be the next. That's gonna be somebody else's name.
That's gonna be the next name. Yeah. Well, the current Baby.
And you realize there's Baby from Cash Money, so we literally have Baby, the Baby,
and Lil Baby. Dumb. But anyway,
that makes more sense. I'm not familiar with Lil Baby at all.
Everybody's having babies.
Pretty much. But yeah, Drake made that boy rap. So, you know, certain people on the track, they make you come up. Yeah. You know.
But my shock came from, like, when the masses like somebody, I get scared. Like, I automatically assume I ain't gonna like him. So
me.
He's so popular that I was really shocked that he has talent. You know. So I was like, oh. So yeah.
I just said that about Misfit Music. Like, the interview question was, you know, what do you think, you know, Misfit Music is? And I was like, we're not where the majority is. Mm-hmm. That's just in life. Whatever the majority is feeling, 10 times out of 10 we ain't feeling it.
Yeah. See, questions like that is safe. It was that other one.
Yeah, the other one, Riecee was like, she was like, I don't know how to dance around this one.
That was like when I was on Mike's thing. He was like, what does home mean for you? I was like, safety. They sat there and waiting for me to say more.
That's
I was like, I repeated. I said safety. Yeah, safety. Safety. And everybody else on it was going to these long things. It was almost Tony and them busted out laughing because it was like safety, and then it cut to me talking about something else because I didn't have nothing else to say. Because you know why? Because some people live in homes where it ain't safe. So
facts.
I'm not. I don't think about it when I think about my home because I got my own. It's safe there.
Yeah.
So that's what I That's what I think of. So I was thinking like, bro, you should have sent me this beforehand if you wanted me to
detailed
fluff this
answer,
up
yeah.
and put some flowers in it and unicorns.
Yeah.
But why you said that? There's some people that wouldn't consider that home because it's home. It's never been
Right.
safe
It ain't
for
never
them.
been safe.
So that's not where they feel safe.
And even some people who, I would say this, people just give political answers because some of y'all ran away from home. So let's not sit here like home is comfort, family. No,
No.
that's a no.
Mm-mm.
That is a no.
Mm.
All right, let's go to the last verse.
Amen.
Stay the course. You're on your way to something great.
Surely.
Stay the course. That was enough right there. But
That's what
Yes.
when they literally stop
Stay the course. You're on your way to something great. Stay the course. You're on your way to something great. Gotta learn to embrace all they got to learn to it. So it says, stay the course. You're on your way to something great.
Uh-huh.
Gotta learn to embrace all the hate.
You should.
They won't know who you are until it's too late.
Correct.
Because all they saw was 24, but never saw the 8. See, that was a Mamba metaphor. Because I'm not an 8, but I'm on my way to the 2-4.
Keep going.
I'm in the middle, giving Montana numbers.
Right.
Grinded in the winter, preparing for the summer.
Stop. Now, that literally, I wrote this. When we literally talked about this, I was talking about this verse because we said something where sometimes when you're prophetic, you don't even realize how prophetic you are. That there are times where literally you can literally in that space, you think you're saying something for right now, but because you're so tuned and in tune to the future, whenever you release it, it's going to be for that time.
Now, let me say something. This is where, if you are in the veins you're supposed to be in,
Right.
you don't have to try to wear a hat when it's not time for that hat.
Right.
What do I mean?
Go ahead.
There's nothing more annoying than preachers who are rappers. God bless. I don't mean no.
I almost dropped the
Say
mic
it
and fell on the
again.
floor.
It is freaking annoying.
Annoying.
Because it's like they think it's a crime just to be dope and wear the rapper hat.
Correct.
When they need to intersect, they'll intersect.
Correct.
But they don't always need to intersect.
Correct.
So wear them separately and be so because of what we are outside of this.
Right.
That gift is working even when you don't know it's working.
Correct.
Because you don't need to try to force
Correct.
everything.
Correct.
That was all I wanted to say. Amen. You can delete me if you like, but I sure didn't tell no lie.
So-
Amen.
So literally, I didn't know Kobe was going to die when he died. So I said all they see is 2-4, but never saw the 8. Sometimes his dominance when he switched to number 24 was so great, you almost forget how great number 8 Kobe was. That's Kobe and Shaq Kobe. He was young Kobe, but he was still just as great. 24 Kobe became more mentally tactical as far as the game, and now there's this Mamba mentality. Now there's this guy that now he always made it clear. Michael never won without Scotty. Magic Johnson never won without Kareem. So he was like, I hate being stuck there. It's just Shaq and Kobe. Like, I want to win without Shaq. Yeah. So we acknowledge what he did at 24, because at 24 he went berserk. But his accomplishments at 8, he had a 3-peat at 8. So I said all they see is 2-4, but never saw the 8. So that was a Mamba metaphor, because I'm not an 8, but I'm on my way to the 2-4. I'm in the middle giving Montana numbers. It's 8, 16, and 24. 16 is Joe Montana's number, and we give, as a rappers, they ask for a 16. So I said I'm in the middle giving Montana numbers. I'm giving 16s. I'm grinding in the winter and preparing for the summer. So literally that I remember the day I came up with that. That actually was, I was on the song was pretty much almost done, but I was like, let me get this last verse done. So I'm at work and I'm like 8, 2, 4. Oh, in the middle giving Montana numbers, because sometimes even in those moments I'll stop like, okay, does this make sense? Like, does this make lyrical, logical sense? How can I?
Oh, you actually care? You ain't just gonna put it together and then just mumble over it?
Absolutely not. I had to stop. Like, all right, let's make sure this makes sense. All right, I'm not an 8, but I'm on my way to the 2-4. I'm in the middle, giving Montana numbers. I'm giving 16s.
I just want to know, is the metaphors hitting everybody else the way they hitting me? Like, my stomach hurts. It's crazy.
There are days where somebody told me, they said you need to write every day. They said because you'll get better. That was the truth.
That is true.
Because when I was on a roll of writing every day, I was getting so good. I thought I could get on the track with anybody. I ain't even gonna lie.
Right.
I'm like, they put me on the track with Jay-Z. I'm ready. I don't know if I feel that way now, but but there are times I'd be writing. There are times I go to close the verse. Like, I seem to get strong in the middle. And then when it's time to close the verse,
it's hard to end that joint right.
Because I feel like
Yes,
that should be the
ma'am.
biggest part of it.
Yes.
And then I got this whole
Yup.
section in my notes on
Yup.
my phone called lines. So when I'm struggling,
You go there.
I
and
go
plug it
find
in.
me a good 4 bars from that. I be like, oh, that one is it.
Yeah.
And
You better
then-
go ahead and go back to them old sermons.
Listen, and then shape that thing. Because I
Facts.
think, to me, being a rapper, it's like your lyrics. I came up in the era where metaphors were important, so I still think it
Thank
is.
you.
Super.
And
Thank you.
I won't give that up.
I
Never.
appreciate you.
Never.
Thank you.
Like, listen, we
Bless
had
you.
That's the rap queen over there. That's
because we
wild.
had the best era of that. I tell people, if you take me back to when the first music video I recall watching was More Money, More Problems. Literally, I missed the whole Biggie Tupac beef in the East and the West.
Well,
But
it was really because we wasn't.
we was in that house.
In that house.
We were the we gotta watch when the cars pull in because we're watching MTV Jams,
Right.
and then we're watching Rap City, and then 106 and Park. So we
Right.
gotta watch to make sure the Cadillac ain't pulling in,
Listen.
No.
and we gotta have that last channel set up.
You remember them days?
Oh, yeah.
So I missed the whole Biggie Tupac, but that was my first introduction to what was going on in rap. But if you take me back to about 95 to about 2008, I mean, for God's sake, we witnessed the best beefs. We had the best lyrics. We had the best lyricists. We watched Jay-Z take over. We watched Nas. We watched Busta be consistent. We watched Diddy reinvent himself. We literally watched the rise of the South that this new generation sees now. We saw
everything now.
right. We saw the four fathers as an outcast, and then we saw the predominant banner wavers of the A, which would be T.I., Luda, Usher, the Yin Yang Twins. We saw the South literally. Then we saw DJ Khaled's rise. We saw Lil Wayne come from a hot boy to the Carters 1 through 3. By the time we got to 4, he started losing them.
You know what's crazy though? We saw the invention of the foolishness we see now.
We saw it.
And even then,
We laughed at it.
yes.
Yes, we
like,
did.
we tolerated the
Nelly.
Yin Yang Twins.
Yep.
Because it was like comical.
Because it
in
was
a way.
different.
But
Right.
we knew, like, if you naming your best top 10, nobody was putting them in there.
No.
And even now I understand. I remember DMX hated Nelly. I read this article. He said, I was listening to the radio, and this what music has come to now. I think my butt getting big. And at the time, I was like, oh, DMX a hater. But I actually went back and listened to some things. I was
The
like,
forefather.
this is the forefather of Soulja Boy.
Yet one.
All this stuff we hear now, it was him.
It was him. 50. A little bit of Ja Rule. That singing yodeling rap.
But even still, like, Nelly didn't really have bars, though.
Correct.
Like, them other ones still had bars.
Correct.
Nelly was just light-skinned
Yes.
with waves.
And he was the St. Louis. He was the first St. Louis guy that really got put on for real.
And he took a nursery rhyme
Yes. And turned that thing to a
turned it
banger.
into a banger.
I mean,
But
hummed on there too.
And at the time, it was cool because
Right.
it was only him.
Right.
So we didn't mind.
Correct.
Yes.
He ain't got no bars, but he is
Yes.
creative.
Stay right
so,
And that proves the point that when everybody's in their respective lanes, we knew who the lyricists were.
Correct.
The Jay-Z's, the Nas's. We knew who the lyrical push the envelope with videos and lyricism, but be different, like Busta.
Yes.
Like, you can even throw Mystical in there. Like, Mystical on his own, we'd be like, this dude trash. But nobody was doing what Mystical was doing. Mystical had his own lane.
Right.
Say what you want. Then we have the whole Cash Money thing. We have New Orleans and their sound. We literally watched Trick Daddy when Trick Daddy was hitting the ground running in Miami. Before Rick Ross put Miami on, Trick Daddy and Uncle Luke and them, they been had Miami on.
Yeah.
So everybody was in their own lanes, even
Miami,
even in groups.
Florida State, period.
You know what I mean? And at the time in Cali, there was still Snoop. But then there was Warren G. There was Exhibit. There, like, everybody, now we are all in this trap.
Yeah, and that's my biggest issue with the state of hip hop currently is there's no versatility. Y'all even have the same names. This is the problem. This is why I'm not listening to the radio. Because, as you said, we could tolerate it because it wasn't everything. It wasn't the only thing.
It wasn't the only thing.
So we could endure 2-3 minutes of this because in 5 minutes I'm gonna hear some Biggie, I'm gonna hear some DMX, I'm gonna hear some Jay-Z, I'm gonna hear some real music.
Correct.
So it's just I don't know.
I mean,
It was
I
the
don't
same with the
understand.
females because we had Lauren, like she was the queen. We didn't dispute that.
Right.
However, Missy
yes,
to
ma'am.
me is the creative icon.
Absolutely.
However, Missy is not lyrical.
No.
But Missy knew her lane.
Correct.
And she did her lane well.
Correct.
And nobody else was in Missy.
Nobody was in there. I mean,
so you were okay with the fact that you wasn't going to be like, oh, you hear what she said? You wasn't going to do that with Missy
right,
stuff.
but you,
However, but the beat was dope.
yes.
And the hook was dope.
Yes.
And the video was crazy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like, it was just
And then
everything.
her fashion within the, she
Correct.
created
came full circle.
She came full
Yes.
circle.
And
Whereas,
even with the Nasty Girls, we had Foxy and Lil' Kim.
Correct.
But we also had Lauren and
Right.
it was diversity.
It was
so
balanced.
it was okay that
balanced.
Kim and Foxy were the way they were because
Right.
we had other people to listen to. Like now it's one note.
we still had Eve.
Yes.
We still had
Oh, yeah.
Rod Digger.
Yes.
We still had Charlie Baltimore, who
Yeah.
never really lived up, in my opinion, to the full potential she could have had.
Yes.
But we had all of these diverse
You
ladies.
know who I liked?
Oh my God, say her name, because I'm gonna tell you who we keep missing. But go ahead.
I don't think we talking about the same person. But I liked Miss Jade.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Yo, Jade
I knew
had
you
bars.
was gonna
I
say
liked
that.
her.
Jade
I don't know what happened.
Jade hit heavy, but
She
you
was on cut, and I was like,
remember when we listened to Ladies Night and we were like,
woo!
the best
The
verse
best verse.
on Ladies Night was Left Eye.
I want somebody to redo that, and I want her. I
Her
want to get to play her.
diversity on the track was like, oh man,
It's a sin that she died.
oh,
The way she came on
oh,
that track,
I got goosebumps.
that was the personality of the track.
Absolutely,
But she always was.
she was.
She was always was.
She
under
was
the
always like
radar.
that.
I think
She was.
and I loved TLC because I loved T-Vibes because believe it or
Yes,
not, my
yes.
voice used to be very deep.
Yes.
I didn't have range,
Yeah.
so I love T-Vibes, but I think
Man,
Left Eye
Left Eye.
did herself a disservice being in that group.
I can
Yo,
honestly
Left
second
Eye.
I always,
that.
I
can
always
second
thought
that.
she made
She
the group.
carried the group.
Yo,
that's
the
what I
thing.
always
But
thought.
the thing is, their fans were R&B heads, you
Right.
know. So I think it downplayed or discredited her talent,
Yeah.
and I can totally see that. But as far as like where we were as far as hip hop is concerned, I think if nothing else, we respected the creativity.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
what's missing. It's like
Absolutely.
y'all, what? How can I believe that you're being creative when you sound like what I just heard from somebody who is from a totally different zip code from you?
And
Like-
Gilly said that on his podcast. He said, I had to check my sons because I said, why y'all talking like y'all from Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
He said, you live in Philadelphia. He
Right.
said, you 215. He said, why? Where are y'all picking up
Yeah, I know he said
all
just
the,
like
he
that.
said, why are y'all picking up all of this new slang
Mm-hmm.
from an area in a place you have not yet experienced?
Right.
And this is the frustration, whereas now my generation sounds like the former generation when we were little, where it's like, it ain't gonna never be like it was. Y'all ain't, but we still had substance.
We did.
The substance. For God's sake, we watched Beyonce and Justin Timberlake go from teenage group stars to individual mega stars. Like we saw it. We still saw groups.
Yeah.
And
For
I-
God's sake.
Yeah.
I will say this because we talked about this one time, and your other co-host disagreed with us. But I was like, is it just that we're older? But I'm gonna tell you where I think the disconnect is. From what I remember, the people who were talking like, oh, this generation, the music ain't going to, they were like 50
Yes.
and 60. Now it's those of us in our
30s.
30s.
Early
No,
30s.
but that's what I think. I think music and social media has aged us beyond our years.
Probably so.
Because
Probably
even
right.
our greatest, like for me personally, my greatest moments occurred prior to social media. Like even
Yes.
just the
Yeah.
things that we encountered in society,
Facts.
the best
Agreed.
moments were before
Agreed.
social
Facts.
media.
And the
Music.
and my best
Well, the
moment still
best
don't make
music
social media.
was before social media. Now it's
Agreed.
like we ain't seen nothing but tragedy since
And
social
I-
media
Facts.
started.
And I don't even think that
I'm
it's
just being
aged us.
serious.
I think it has immatured the
I was gonna-
majority.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to put
Facts.
it.
I think it has immatured the majority.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now those of us with maturity sound like we're 60 years old.
Yes.
'Cause it's just like,
Yes, because it's
like,
it's hitting younger and younger.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'd be cool. So give me a Foxy and a Kim. Do we gotta have 6 of them though?
No,
Like,
right.
And it's the only 6 girls rapping. Like, can we not? That's all I'm saying.
That's all
and
I'm
then the
saying.
ones who want to be different, like Rhapsody, let's actually put
Yo,
them on the same
a
playing
monster.
level as the other ones.
A
Don't
monster.
make it so that only the underground knows about her, and then those who are like when she gonna get to perform at the American Music Awards?
And
Like,
it-
you get what I'm
and
saying?
if you
Like, let's
notice-
put them on the same playing field.
And that is where we're at with our generation. There is the industry greats, and then there are those that may never touch the industry on that level, but they are great.
Right.
And it's literally like we all know Jasmine Sullivan can out-sing any other female singer on planet Earth, but she may not have that respect because they're gonna be like even on their $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, Gilly he'll do a top 5 of a category solely based of his music, based off of what they sold and how much money they brought in. But we I think it was, I can't remember, it might have been top 5 wackest rappers, and he had Magoo on there. And Wallow was like, no, he said no, cuz you don't get Magoo. He said, man, Magoo won it, and then somebody said Silk the Shocker. Gilly was screaming, Silk the Shocker brought in so many units. Silk the Shocker. Silk the Shocker. Yo, shout out to my cousin Dennis. I don't know if he remembers this. Dennis,
I remember.
me and Dennis used to go to Cowtown to get remember the big goggles?
Yes.
We used to get the goggles to wear on our heads. Cause I remember Silk the Shocker, and I ain't gonna front, Diddy first, Puff and Mace first did it. Puff and Mace first did it on the More Money, More Problems, and I ain't gonna front. When I saw that, I was like, I'm going to Cowtown, I'm getting goggles, I'm putting them on my head. But I remember Silk the Shocker had goggles. Like, bro, you looking at the unit? Silk the Shocker was the laughing stock of the rap game. Like, come on, bro. But now there's a bunch of Silk the Shockers. He's a forefather for this generation of how these cats think they could just, with no talent, can't hardly stay on the beat, but now got to dance in the
Can't
gimmick.
hardly. What
Can't
beat?
hardly stand.
They ain't heard it.
and-
I know they ain't.
And let's be clear, this is why you have to know who you are. I know when somebody is making trap adapt to who they are, and when they're trying to adapt to trap.
Yes.
You can tell.
Yes, you can.
I think Jay-Z's the greatest rapper of all time, but I've seen trap songs expose his lack of rhythm. I've seen it. I've heard it and seen it.
You talking too real,
Point
my
blank
guy.
in the period. So you have to be an original. There aren't any originals now. Like we still had groups, both male and female. For God's sake, we had B2K, y'all. However you felt about them, them boys was moving units. We had, I think, Cherished. I don't know what happened to them. I think they
Too
could have.
many pretty girls in
You
one.
probably
group.
right,
That
'cause-
was. I know that was a mess.
And I mean, they could sing,
I know that
and
was.
they looked the part. Again, the rise of Atlanta.
Didn't they do a spinoff of them though? A TV show?
I think one of them ain't one of them on one of them Love and Hip Hops. I thought one of them was.
I don't think so.
There was I'm trying to think of what that
They're
TV
all
show
sisters,
was.
right?
I know,
I know
there's
what
one
you're
set of
talking
twins,
And
I think it was 2 sets of twins and then another sister.
something like that. I can't remember. I think it was 4 of them. I know 2 were twins and the other.
Can't remember what the name.
One of them had your government.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. She spelled it with
Yes,
2
I
L's.
do. I do remember.
I was God. Desiree, don't
She
do
was-
that.
she
B2K. Desiree, say what you want. B2K was moving. I mean, look, they had day joints. They had a joint with Nick Cannon. They always had a Bow Wow joint. Like, they even know the Jagged Edge did too. Everything Bow Wow did with Jagged Edge, I hated. Oh my God. I hated Puppy Love. I hated Trade It All. No, Trade It All was Fab and Diddy. They did another thing with Bow Wow. Everything Jagged Edge and Bow Wow did, I hated. Every collaboration they did, I hated it. But for God's sake, we
Who was
had
before B2K though.
who was before, like a group?
Yeah.
I mean, we had 112.
You talking about Young?
The young, yeah. Who's the young group?
They never lived.
trying to
They
think.
never lived up. But I know Diddy had a group called B5, and they never lived up to the hype.
Cause who came after Immature?
Damn,
trying to think.
that's a good question.
I don't know. That's the days I had to sneak to.
Oh yes.
My immediate
So,
thought was
I don't know.
IMX came after Immature, but I don't know what other group, because that's how it was. You know, you lose a member, you change the name, and then
Right,
you
right, right.
rebrand.
Kept right on going. Right. Shoot, look at Destiny's Child, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And even something. Those other girls weren't they there longer? And we
Never heard of
we don't even
Never
think
heard
of them.
of
We
it.
automatically
Think of Michelle. Because that's because Michelle's first single
To me,
of her
cannot
appearance
sing.
was on Survivor. Excuse me, was on Independent Women. Her first album was Survivor, and Survivor is probably Destiny's Child's
Right,
best
best
work.
bestseller, yeah.
My favorite song is on that album. You wouldn't believe it if I told you. But her first Destiny's Child album, Michelle landed right at the right time.
She did.
So
yeah.
we don't need. Mind you, them other two had "Say My Name."
Yep.
They
Writings
had
on the Wall
They had
album.
writings on the album "Writings on the Wall." They had "Bugaboo." They had "Bills."
Jumping.
They had "Jumping" with the remix with Bow Wow.
I like.
Well, all right. Were you a fan?
I was.
I liked On the Bus.
I saw Destiny's Child.
On the bus, yeah.
Pretty Ricky. Come on, Desiree.
Desiree, no,
That's what I'm
Pretty,
talking
yo,
about.
and I hated Pretty Ricky, but Pretty Ricky was moving.
Yeah.
It was moving. So it's just sad to see, like, literally R&B is like darn near on life support. There are no R&B bands, no groups. It's just strictly now, how can we adapt to this track?
Oh, well, now you got the Silk Sonic. I think that's what they
Yo,
call it. Silky Sonic.
Bruno and Anderson .Paak gonna have the album of the year. That thing gonna be.
I was just watching
Crazy.
one of their lives earlier today.
Yo,
two.
because they carry they capture. It makes sense for them to do an album because they both capture what was.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And bring it
Yeah.
like
They're very
like
vintage.
they're
Yes,
very
yes.
vintage. Anderson .Paak, I love his work. Even his album with the Free Nationals, it sounds just like what he did with Bruno.
I will say this though, Bruno, he's sitting on a lot. There's a
believe that.
lot that he has not released. There's a whole nother side of him that the world
I was
has
gonna
not
say,
I
I
believe
do
that.
feel like
Seen.
he's holding back.
I
I
believe that.
genuinely feel that.
He
I
probably
can-
got a whole marketing strategy to it.
Let's bet money.
That man
Hopefully.
is
Yeah, he's great.
he's I can't even
He's great.
that one there. He is
Yeah.
man. Yeah, he's definitely sitting on a lot.
He is.
That's
I
all I
believe
can
it.
say.
I believe
That's
it.
all I can say.
I
He is
believe
sitting
it.
on a lot. Where were we at? We were still at
Yeah, the Kobe joint.
Stay humble and grind. That's
Yeah,
all you
yeah,
gotta do.
Right.
And never ever take credit for where credit is due.
Right.
Mhm.
Friends leave, that's a loss. That don't mean I lose. Less is more, check the scoreboard. I'm the Victor Cruz. It gets rough, it ain't never smooth, but I'm prepared for the journey. Got my traveling shoes. Music's in need of a fix, and we got the tools. So we just serving them hits like a hammer do. That last bar, even when
Yeah.
I read it the first time before I even listened to the track, I was like, okay, all right, I hear you. I hear you, my guy. That's what it is.
Yeah, like and even at that time, I was always. You're gonna experience some weight loss as far as friends are concerned.
Oh yeah.
right.
There's no getting around that.
Mhm.
So it's like, if they leave, it could be a loss, sure, but that don't mean that I gotta lose.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like as a matter of fact, it'll probably if I feel more relief after your exit. Okay, I ain't gotta say it. But if I feel weights have been lifted.
I was gonna say I feel like that's a win, but that's just me.
Like if your exit brings me
People,
more.
everybody serves their purpose.
Correct.
And everything has, as Mom Lutz would say, everything has its expiration.
Yeah.
Literally, I always
Everything has its expiration.
I always compare it to rocket boosters on a rocket ship. There is a technical setting in them boosters where you got one job. Get this rocket out of Earth's orbit.
Right.
By the time they get there, there is a mechanism in them that says, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can as bad, and I mean as
But
quick.
but hear what you just said. The reason why it has to let go is because once you get to a certain level, it weighs you down.
Like
When I tell you the metaphors.
Boy!
Literally, when you hit that orbit, you're now in space. So them boosters are good for this Earth's atmosphere.
You serve your purpose.
By the
You-
time we
listen,
get up there, them things gonna be like, time to go.
you can't go where I'm going.
You can't. And you're gonna frustrate yourself trying to drag people to places they were not designed to go.
Yep.
Let's just people can say it's toxic, people can say whatever they want, but now
Reality
is I make
Yeah.
my exit known. Like, all right, you just gonna stop hearing from me.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is, I made my peace with, because people just want confrontation and want I don't have to explain anything.
Nothing.
It's done.
Right.
Yep.
Can we talk about it? Talk about what?
What?
There's nothing to talk
There
about.
is nothing here to discuss.
Oh.
So therefore, you have to go, or I gotta go. Either way, there's got to be a separation here.
There has to be a separation.
There has to. So if friends leave, yeah, that's a loss, but that don't mean I lose.
My lord.
And less has always been more.
Oh.
Come on.
Less has always been more.
That is actually a fact.
You know what I mean? And the
Too
Victor
much.
Cruz, that's actually the old Giants player that he won the Super Bowl with the Giants in Super Bowl 40.
Something.
They won it 42, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow. They won the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 44. 45. I'm sorry.
We talk about it all the time. I'm amazed at people who said less is more. And I'm amazed at people who know that the people they're with is full of snakes and frauds, but would rather be with the crowd
Yes.
because that feels better
Yes.
rather than just ride with the
Yes.
one person or the
Yes.
two people
Yes.
or three people that they know they like is safe.
People
Like
are really
people
into quantity.
legit,
Yeah.
they can't take the thought of the crowd not rocking with me.
Correct.
So even though I know
And I
at
mean,
the
you
right
know.
moment, everybody in here would stab me up.
Yep.
It's just more of us here. It's more fun with the crowd, but it's not safe with the
It
crowd.
ain't safe with the
safe.
And if
crowd.
I'm not safe, it's not fun for me.
It's not safe.
When
It
I
is
used to
not
go to the
safe.
club, I used to be so scared I was gonna get shot up because I knew I wasn't supposed to be in there. Oh God, sometimes I couldn't hardly have fun sometimes. Like I was just like, Lord, please don't shoot it up. I know I ain't supposed to be here.
My Lord.
If you could just allow me to have some fun. And this is why I had to be drunk to enjoy it, because otherwise I was in there praying like, Lord, please. So it's the same thing with that. If it's not safe, then what good is it?
Right.
Crowds
Less
may be
really
more
is
fun, but
more.
it's not safe. Less has always been more. I don't know what this myth is that
I
it's
know.
been in the numbers. It's not in the numbers. Less is more. It always has been, and it always will be. You just got to learn to trim the fat. There's no other way.
Trim the fat.
There's just no other way to put it. Less is more. And that's a lifestyle. That ain't a, that,
Except in clothes. Amen.
Amen.
And money.
And money.
Otherwise, yes.
And so, I ain't gonna front. Ending like Reece said, sometimes the start of the verse and the end of the verse are important. And that is where the majority of my mind is. So sometimes the step back and be like, yo, I actually started that drawing right and ended it right. Amen. Amen.
I had somebody tell me, they were like, where's the metaphors in your music?
Oh, no, They
How
not
dare
listening.
you?
I was.
You know what it is because people. Oh, how can I say this?
Are slow.
People who lack knowledge. They look at rhyming as metaphors. So if you're not rhyming,
Then they
Very
should
true.
read because
but
those
that's-
are two different words.
but listen,
Very true.
don't get started. But no, that's
It does. They're not hearing the
no.
way
You gotta remember
I
people.
had sent them get lost. They was like, you don't got metaphors. You don't sound like the girls in the industry. I think it was more I didn't look like the girls.
People
I mean,
get no.
and that's-
People
that's
get
a
stuck
compliment.
because even people who talk like that, they're stuck to the nursery rhymes and rhymes.
correct.
Y'all are using adult language. No, I'm for real. Because of the words that it challenges them too much. Oh, I gotta think about this. I have to understand the meaning of this.
You're probably right.
You don't have metaphors and you're not rhyming. No, you just aren't on
Yeah.
this level.
You're not there.
So obviously this is not for
Yeah.
you.
No, it's not.
Yeah. No, that's the bottom line, period. That's really what it is.
Facts. And I ain't gonna lie. At that particular time when I wrote this song, I had just started getting introduced to battle rap.
I almost told on somebody, thank you, Lord, because I almost said their name. I sat in a session with somebody and I watched them with a dictionary look up words to try to write. I'm telling you.
Y'all should see my face.
I'm trying to tell you. No, real talk. I was in a session with somebody. They was doing their verse, and they was like, I want to say this, but I can't. I gotta find something. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't even a dictionary. It was a thesaurus.
The synonyms.
They was trying to find a word to rhyme. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
That's not it.
I'm telling you.
That's not it, Shorty.
And this is and y'all ask me all the time. That's why like I be trying to tell. That's why I'm so hard on rap. I've sat in these kind of scenarios where people and I'm like,
Don't do that.
that don't make sense. That don't rhyme. Like that. What are you even saying? Like I'm telling you, it
I
man.
say that, but I think you're harder on singing personally.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. You just hard
I think
on
you
everything.
like singing more, so it might come off differently.
I can't
But
lie.
No, but I'm well for me. I'm with the Tony era. I like rap that has
Lyrics.
a time.
Man.
It has a story. It has
Yeah,
a
man.
message. It has some lyrical. Like you gotta come with the full thing for me with rap. You have to.
Because
It can't just be just the sound or just the lyrics.
Correct.
You gotta give me the full package. Or you
because
don't got me.
so many of them have been getting by with, you hear the intro of that beat and you be like, this thing about to be crazy, and then you hear them and they be like, you wasted this wonderful production, how dare you.
So who do you like, Christian? What rappers do you like?
Don't
that
ask me that. Not tonight.
Oh.
Riecee, Siren, Lawrence T.
Ah,
Yeah, nah, don't
Don't
ask
ask
me.
me.
Oh
Don't
my
ask me
God.
that.
but
I got work to do. Don't.
when I say that every line hits, there is a writing style where they tell you like to let it breathe, right? But he didn't let a single one breathe, and that's what I'm saying with callbacks. It's like when they tell you that, it's because they'll say, oh, well, this one hits too hard, so if you put another one right after it, they're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, that's fine if you don't catch this one. You'll catch the next one. A lot of people don't write like that. They literally like try to deter you from writing like that. So
That's
for me, on my intellectual level, I loved it. I
Let me tell you, man.
but it ain't for everybody.
Writing is her thing because we had a function that we were on,
yes,
and as we were trying to decide on something,
yes.
she was, and at first I wasn't getting it. She
I was
said,
like, what function? Oh, y'all are.
Thank goodness
Thank
you
God.
forgot.
Yo!
And she was saying like,
I can't stand
Yes.
any of
she was
y'all.
saying, she was like, I can't connect with the song because what she was saying doesn't match the title. And at first, like I was hearing her, but I was, and then when you started to explain, I was like, you are
1,000% correct. Like when she said it, literally. got clear.
Yes.
I was like, oh shoot.
I was like, oh, you're right. And then we started rewriting the song for the individual.
Right.
Literally, because
I wrote 3 songs that night.
and
So what she was trying to say.
bottom line, she literally again tapped into, okay, so how can you flip that? Why? What made you feel that way? What? How can you insert yourself?
But you know what was crazy? It seemed like the person that really had no clear answers to it.
Correct.
It was interesting.
It was very interesting.
She was like, so what made you feel that way? And you got a bunch of fluff. It
yes,
was like,
surface stuff.
this isn't,
Because she didn't want to dig.
or she didn't write it. Amen.
Probably right. You're probably right. We
Amen.
was trying to dig, like sis. We trying to get yourself. We're actually trying to get you to insert yourself in here,
Right.
literally, because you think you in there, but you
Y'all-
ain't really in there.
You just scratched something, and that's what
Was it
people have to. That's what people have to understand, because. Oh, how can I say this without? There are times where I write for the people,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to give them the story to the song,
Right.
so that way when they're interviewed, they have a story to
So you didn't
tell.
prep her?
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of shut up. So a lot of people. But no, what happens is because when you're in the flow,
Mm.
and then when that curveball come, if it's not something that is yours and you don't have a direct connection with it,
Why can't you just say that? I would.
And
I'm
that's-
the
and that's
worst.
what I
I'd be
was
like,
gonna
oh, I
say.
didn't write it.
That's my thing about the metaphors and talking adult language, like Christian was saying. Like, if I'm having to explain to you the metaphor, right, and what it means as the artist, right? If I write for you and I have to explain to you, okay, this is a metaphor.
yo,
This
she's
is what I'm
terrible with that.
saying,
Because
right?
when I be writing for people, she be fussing at me. She be like, "Why are you explaining that to? Don't even do the job. Forget it. Walk away."
Because
She be
they're
so
not
hard.
gonna
Like,
connect. They're not going to connect. If I have to explain the metaphor to you, I want you to take your interpretation. What do you feel when you hear this? Because if you don't feel anything, then we need to rewrite it.
If
We
you
need
don't
to-
feel
we need to do
anything,
something different.
we need to rewrite.
But
it.
we lived in that era where the millennials and under want to be known.
So true.
Part of the problem with the music,
So
they don't
true.
want to feel.
They
Now-
don't.
Now
Rather
that
than-
Yo,
is
so
too much truth, right?
yo,
there.
I ain't gonna front. That's a
Rather
whole
than-
nother. That's a whole nother hour.
Rather than write about the thing that's breaking your heart, I'd rather write about the pills I'm taking that
Talk.
numbs how I feel.
Talk.
So we making stupid music when all of y'all, this
And
why
these
all
niggas
y'all
is
dying
overdosing.
overdoses.
I
Talk.
was finna
Because
say.
we don't want to
Talk.
talk about what's upsetting
don't talk about my
you.
song.
Talk.
So that's why when you're talking about overdosing,
Don't
it
talk
needs
about
to
my.
be about
What I just say?
overdosing.
Don't talk about my song.
Everybody overdosing.
Don't talk about my song. That's what we
Yes, it
changed it to.
Like legit, it was like, sis, how? I told Reese all the time, I don't know how these artists can take somebody else's words, and you don't connect, but still do it for a check.
Because they want the money. It's about money.
Like yo, like
Even at that
But that
event
was when
we
I'll be
were,
real.
even at the thing we were at, that was when I got the individual to start listening. When I started talking the money, because
very true.
the individual had an idea
Oh.
that what they were doing was going to put them where they wanted to be.
Right,
They didn't start listening till I started naming
talking that money.
the top selling artist of all time in where that artist was, and the people she thought would have been there
We're not
were
there.
on that list.
Yeah,
Now all of a sudden we penetrated the heart gate, and now all of a sudden now Saints wanted to listen because the driving force for this generation is money, because then the money can help provide the things that make me numb.
correct.
It's numbing money, numbing money.
That's an album, Numbing Money.
Lord Jesus.
Numbing Money.
Well, let me know, because if not, I'm gonna definitely.
Nah,
read
all
the
jokes
book.
aside, cause that joke got crazy.
That's
Numbing
number
Money.
16 right there.
That sound like a
That is a TV series.
Numbing-
You should write it and make music to it. Numbing
Numbing Money, and we will copyright
HBO,
that.
Showtime, what up?
What up, Numbing Money?
Listen, y'all, Lawrence T, y'all. That's all I could say. Lawrence to the T.
Half of the Wonder Twins, huh?
Man, drop your social media content. There's so much more that I want to say. I'm gonna have to share some stuff with y'all off the air,
So,
cause I can't tell it all.
We got the Twitter and the Instagram is about 3 underscores Lawrence and then another underscore and T. Facebook, I guess I need a music page that's coming.
Just change your page. Just change
Change your
name.
name. There you go. Lawrence T. It'll be up there tonight. Amen. Or you'll find that on Facebook. I'm on SoundCloud as Lawrence T. Radar is on Apple Music. It's on Tidal. It's on iTunes. I believe they said Spotify takes a little longer, so
I've been checking. It ain't up
it ain't up there. So Spotify will probably be like sometime next week. But those 3 platforms for sure. Radar is there.
Listen, don't limit yourself. How can the people contact you for some beats?
Oh, if you need some beats, definitely be on the lookout. That's one of the things I'm about to get into for SoundCloud. That a lot of my SoundCloud is going to be where a lot of my instruments and instrumentals, are going to be. I'm trying to work on a beat tag so that can't nobody take my stuff and just run with it. So if I hear it, I can come get you. Amen. So working on that.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because people go on YouTube and like quick and be taking that joint, and if you ain't put no tag to it or nothing, you kind of screwed.
I heard my song.
That boy didn't have no praise for the rest of the night.
I mean, stole it right in church.
But yeah, you can definitely hit me on the gram for some beats for sure. And the thing is, that's kind of like how it is. Sometimes a lot of times I didn't put anything on SoundCloud because I was like, man, sometimes this don't even sound like what's current, and it's just like battling this, and this is like, bro, that's what you want. If I mean, you want to capture what today's sound is, but make it your own. And there's a way to do that, there's a way to do that and it not be trapped.
Yeah.
Ha! How about that one? There's a way to execute that. So yeah, you can hit me on the gram, you can hit me on the book, Facebook, on Twitter. If you need beats, definitely. I you know what I mean, I'm in the process of trying to work with one of my guys that I went to school with, and he's hitting the ground running, talking about, man, when we gonna connect? We gonna connect, my guy, you know. So yeah, definitely if you need
and since we got both the bosses here for up and coming artists, how can they contact you all as far as the label of Misfit Music?
Nah, they said they'll find them.
Misfit Music. Man, we don't have a Instagram, dude. We sure don't.
Y'all will find them.
Yeah, you're right. Don't find us, we'll find you.
That's right. Keep grinding, like they said. Keep grinding. Don't listen to me.
Lord have mercy.
They could always just inbox or something.
Legit.
I mean, if they were serious.
Legit.
Like on Instagram.
I'm about to say, cause after I first
listen,
running
if y'all
with that,
serious, they just did a listening session and chopped somebody up.
No, that thing turned into
What we did was we broke through the glass and then gave sis hope, and you find that some people like living in darkness rather than the light.
like legit. It literally, without her knowing, it turned into a therapy session. we literally rebuilt that girl's whole character and morale about herself.
And the thing about it is when you the problem ensued, because when you begin to find who you are, people who have had control over you in the past will no longer have control. So unfortunately, again, people would rather have the crowd that they're used to instead of people who actually want to see you win.
Talk.
Yep.
And I mean, they really want to see you win.
It went left.
It didn't go right. I'll
But
tell you
we
that.
Oh man, listen, Lawrence T, y'all, make sure y'all go and y'all hit those digital outlets and get the latest single, Radar.
Go get that.
Also, don't forget y'all pick up the latest single, Mr. Policeman
Go
from
get
Riecee, Siren.
Go get that.
Y'all stay in the know right here. We're bringing lyrics to life, and make sure y'all follow these two. They doing big things. They moving.
And play back that
They
virtual
moving.
concert from
And
yesterday.
listen,
Yeah,
go
play that,
back
play
and
that.
watch the Wonder Twins Volume 1.
Go.
So understand, Volume 1 means what?
There's
another-
more to
there's
come.
More to
another-
come.
There's more to come. There's another volume.
There's more to come. So listen, y'all go back, y'all catch that. Y'all stay locked right.